I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fam's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while sizzling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, there we go. Ooh, okay. So it's the camera is cloudy. Let me see if I can fix the camera from being uncloudy. Camera, cloudy camera. Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 Chief Rock Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie. This is what we call the premier Knicks in the Nighttime show, the Knicks at Night podcast, where we talk that talk the way that you like to have that talk to you. We got some people on the way that's going to come in, Knicks fans that's going to come in and rock with us for a little while. Salute to y'all. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't really have any major stuff to chop it up, but I feel like it's pertinent for us to get together and start back with the Knicks at Night podcast on a regular schedule. Right. So I wanted to, and I'm looking at notes, by the way, looking at the notepad. I got a like I tell y'all in the mornings, I have a notepad here with a bunch of notes and stuff. Bunch of things that I want to talk to y'all about, kind of. And so I guess the first thing that we could talk about is are you as a Knicks fan, do you have any trade remorse? Are you upset that Quentin Grimes is gone? Are you upset that RJ Barrett or Emmanuel Quickly are gone, no longer Knicks? Are you frustrated that Obi Toppin is gone? Are you upset that Evan Fournier is gone? Ivory 10 is in the building. Big up yourself. Jet Life for Life is in the building. The original DSJ is in the building. DSJ sitting on the fire music, man. Y'all better check him out while nobody knows, or a little bit of people know. Y'all can say y'all was first. Alfonso Scott is in the building. What's good, boss? It's good to see y'all, man. I'm glad y'all here rocking with us. I think Coach is on the way. I think King Ribby is on the way. I think some others are on the way. And we just going to chop it up, man. We're just going to talk that talk, you know what I'm saying? Blase, blah, talk that talk, blah, blah, blah. Y'all already know the saying right now. Are you guys having any trade remorse? Rich boy. Big up. Big up. Endgame is in the building. Salute. Salute to Endgame. Alfonso Scott says, Evan was drinking all the Gatorade. I'm glad he's gone. Now there's enough Gatorade to go around. Frank is in the building. Salute, Frank. Big up yourself. Big up, Frank. Endgame says, did you guys discuss that yet? And he's referring to, do the Knicks need to sign 2 more people? Yeah, I want to get to that. I want to get to that in the open panel format. I want to get to that in the open panel format. That's one of those conversations that I try to reserve when there's, a few more people here, so that we could talk about it and get different points of view and opinion. But big up yourself for that, because it's one of those things that I wanted to talk about before. Kerry Cox is in the building, the son of the legend. Big up. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is in the building. Salute, salute. Latrell Sprewell is the American Dream is in the building. Salute. Big up yourself. Salute, salute. Do you have any trade remorse? Oh, and listen, I honestly, Jeremy is in the building. Honestly, yeah. Brother Contreras is in the building. Salute. Big up yourself. I'm gonna honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I do have some trade remorse. Honestly, I do have some trade remorse. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do have trade remorse, and I don't have trade remorse from the aspect of in a emotional, these are the days of our lives type scenario. I have trade remorse in a sense that it pains me that OG Toppin. I call that man OG Toppin. Yo, I have trade remorse in a sense that OG Anunoby always gets to the point where he can break out and be a star, but he gets hurt. OG Anunoby always gets to the cusp of being a star, and then he gets hurt. And it's unfortunate. And I'm not saying that I'm not excited about having OG. I'm excited about having OG and Precious. Precious Achua is the guy I wanted Isaiah Roby to be, right? Precious Achua is the guy I wanted Nathan Knight to be. Big body wing, off the bench, guard the Tatums and all of that. But he far exceeded anything I could have ever expected. Andios is in the building. Salute. Big up yourself. It's unfortunate that every time OG and Anunoby gets to that point where people are going to start talking to him about being somebody, he gets hurt. And it's unfortunate, man. And I'm saying this as a not just a Knicks fan, but as a dad and an NBA fan, a fan of quality NBA players. Let me see if I can. Yeah, this camera is on the how y'all, hey yo, how y'all like Bimmy? Introducing Bimmy, everybody. So this is my new channel guy. This is Bimmy, right? That's Bimmy. Bim, right? So I feel as if the Knicks were on the cusp of having a big three, and then two guys get hurt. Randall and OG. Will Salkins in the building. Salute. Big up yourself. And the thing is OG rarely has the major injuries. He's always got the work injuries. Y'all know how you go to work and yo, JJ isn't it? Hey, JJ, I'm about to start talking Mets again in a little while, bro. I may start talking Mets tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Yeah, man. We trying to do a little something, man. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Bimmy. Bimmy has that tri-state area scowl on his face. Somebody told me I should have put Timberlands on him, but I think that might have been too much. That might have been too much. That may have been too much, right? But the thing about an OG Anunoby acquisition is you really never know how much you need a guy until you have it. Once you get the guy, you're like, okay. And so I'm sitting here on the cusp of crying you guys a river over OG Toppin. I'm about to cry a river over OG Toppin. So I'm sitting here about to cry a river over Obi Toppin, the trade remorse scenario type thing. You know how you get it? You know how you get something new and you just feel like it only needs a couple of little things to it, little tweaks. Little tweaks, whatever. That's where I feel like OG Anunoby is. Right? OG Anunoby is, like what you've seen thus far, what you saw in January is a baseline of what OG Anunoby can provide. You hadn't seen his upside yet. You hadn't seen OG's upside yet. All you've seen from OG is basic, I'm getting to know my team. You have not seen the OG Anunoby, I can take over OG yet. And so there's my buyer's remorse. Right? You trade something and you're tantalized and teased by it, and you don't get the full thing of it. But Precious is not a bad consolation piece. There was also a question earlier asked, right? A question asked, what are we going to do with the 2 empty roster spots? And so I'm going to go to ESPN and look at the roster right now. And the Knicks have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So ESPN has the Knicks listed with 19 guys, right? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those 19 don't have money listed by them. I'm assuming they're either 10-day contract guys or G leaguers. So I'm assuming that two of those guys are on 10-day contracts, Taj Gibson and someone else. And then I'm also going to assume that the other three are G leaguers. So Contreras says there's rumors about Mitch Nixon and Mitchell Robinson. Hopefully, playoff update from trainer. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know who else is available on the buyout market. I can search for that and see. Let me see. Yeah, just really quick. Buy out market candidates. Joe Harris, Killian Hayes, Corey Joseph. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like Corey Joseph. I like Corey Joseph. I like Marcus Morris. I think Thaddeus Young signed with somebody. Is there a specific person or player y'all feel like we should go after? Bronx Mel is in the building. Salute yourself. Big up yourself. Salute. Kerry Cox says Robin Lopez or I think you pranking me. You said Robin Lopez and then it just looked like alphabet soup after that. Jermichael Green? Jermichael Green is out there? Yo, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I like Corey Joseph. I always did. I think he played at Texas. I think he played at Texas either before or after Kevin Durant. I wouldn't mind having him. No, I just can't. Kerry, I just can't, bro. I can't bring myself to. This dude is not an NBA player, bro. You already know he gonna come here. He's gonna play great the 25 games over the summer. He gonna sign a 4-year deal for like $60 million and miss 90% of the games. Sherwin is in the building. Sherwin says, Mitch, I heart OG, and Dante. He's saying, Brett, you saying bring everybody else back healthy. Hey, man, you can only do that on, yo, look who it is. Mosley is in the building. Mosley, what's good? Mosley was like, relax on all these former Knicks, bro. I mean, we understand once a Knick, always a Knick, but yeah. And DeLon Wright, you say, why couldn't we get DeLon Wright? Is he on a team right now? Is DeLon Wright on a team? Let me see if DeLon Wright is on a team. I don't know. Let me see. I'm seeing Washington Wizards to Miami Heat shooting guard DeLon Wright. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see his game log just to see if he's active. Yeah, he last played on Valentine's Day. He played 3 minutes on Valentine's Day with the Miami Heat. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, add some more questions in the chat, man. I like this. I kind of like this vibe, man. Y'all put some more stuff in the chat. Yeah, man. I kind of like this vibe. That I went, yeah, Frank. I feel you. I feel you. Jermichael Green is the backup forward we've been needing, in my opinion. Yeah, he's more athletic than what we think to. JJ, I appreciate your concern on that. I saw you say that before. I didn't get the opportunity to address it. Right. Yes, I am concerned. Am I worried that it'll happen? No. Is that subject on my radar? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not due to health reasons either, right? It's due to this. I'm gonna share something with you, bro. It's due to this, right? When we come back from the All-Star break Thursday, we're at Boston we're at the Sixers versus Boston at the Garden. We host Detroit, then we host New Orleans, who's not a pushover. Then we host Golden State. They're not a pushover. Then we're at Cleveland. Then we have Atlanta. Then we have Orlando, Philly. Then we at Portland, at Sacramento, at Golden State, at Denver. Come back home for Brooklyn and Detroit. Go to Toronto. You see what I mean? Like, we legit have some tough games left on the schedule. We played Boston twice before the end of the season. We end the season Chicago at home, Brooklyn at home, at Boston, at Chicago, at Milwaukee, at Chicago. So we have Chicago 3 of the last 6 games of the season, and they'll have something to play for. Yeah, and so if you're asking me, am I concerned? Absolutely, right. But at the same time, if any team can make a run from that play-in spot to the NBA Finals, I think it's us. Miami did it last year. I think we could do it this year with a better team. And Kerry Cox says, y'all know that's my heartstring, man. Shout out to the Bahamas. Y'all know that's my heartstring, bro. Why y'all keep tugging at my heartstring, man? Y'all know my dream scenario. Y'all know my dream scenario is we sign Kai Jones to like a 10-day contract, and he give you as like that 5th forward, right? He's that 5th forward that comes in. Like, you'll have Randall, OG, Precious, Josh Hart, and Kai Jones. And I know y'all say Josh Hart's a shooting guard, but you don't see Josh Hart doing guard stuff. Josh Hart is a wing player. And Lloyd says, no, got to be 16. No, I'm not saying, no, I'm not. No, I never said I want them to be in the play-in. I feel you though. But JJ asked me specifically, am I concerned that the Knicks might fall to the play-in, and I feel you. I'm right there with you. As a matter of fact, I feel like we got to be the 3 seed and up. I feel you. But JJ asked the question, and I answered. So, but yeah. My major concern is that the injuries that we have, we may not be told the full extent of the injuries and all of that stuff. Right? Because in theory, right? So okay. We were told about OG Anunoby's injury on February 8th, right? That means 2 weeks from that will be this Thursday. That means OG Anunoby, in theory, should be back next Friday. Right? So when we play Philly, that'll be OG Anunoby will have been out 2 weeks. Right? So a week after the All-Star break is over, OG Anunoby should be back. That's kind of the same timetable as Julius Randle. Kinda. Except there was a dash. They were like 3 to 5 weeks or something. Whatever they said about Randle. Yeah. And JJ, you know what? Even with all that said, bro, I'm just going to be honest with you. And JJ, you've been around long enough to know, like, I put a lot of, even though I look crazy, and I say a lot of crazy stuff, I put a lot of thought into a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, right? Like last year when we were on that night, it was Adam and myself and Dre and others, Corey Lee, and I was like, yo, bring on Milwaukee. I ain't scared of Milwaukee. Y'all remember I used to say that? I was saying that last year on the Knicks at Night podcast. Last year, I legit said, I was like, legit, bro. I was like, yo, bring on Milwaukee. I ain't scared of Milwaukee. Chat, y'all remember that? Last year, and on the Knicks at Night podcast, I was like, yo, I don't care if we play Milwaukee in the first round, second round, third round, finals, the moon, Saturn, Jupiter, this week, next week. I don't care when we play them. We can beat Milwaukee. And I got talked down. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? I got talked down like, Uncle Freezie, you crazy, man. Milwaukee looks like Tarzan. And then the playoffs came and they played like Jane. 3 years ago, JJ, you remember 3 years ago when I told Spreewell the American Dream on this show? I said, Spree, there's a pathway for us to make the NBA Finals. There's a pathway. I told Spree that. Ron from Still Knicks fans in the building. Salute to Ron. Big up, Ron. He says, what's good, Knicks fans? Salute to the chat. Salute. I think your camera is a little out of focus. It is. I've been trying to get it to refocus. It's fuzzy. Bricks Nation is in the building. But 3 years ago, I was on the thing, me and Hoodie Kev and everybody, I was like, yo, there's a pathway for us to make the NBA Finals, the Eastern Conference Finals. Right? Ron, I've been trying to work on this thing. You can't see it, but I've been trying to work on the cameraman, and it's just, yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm trying to, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for me to send this camera to the upper room. The upper room. But yeah, I said there was a pathway for the Knicks to make the Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals. And what happened was We lost to Atlanta, and Atlanta took the path instead of us. Atlanta took the path that was destined for us. We lost to Atlanta, and we should have been on that path, and they beat us. So I say a lot of crazy things, but in theory, it's not really crazy, bro. I feel like I really legitimately have a point. And this year, I'm telling y'all, man, that this Knicks team, there's a pathway to the NBA Finals, right? Notice I didn't. There's a pathway to the NBA Finals, and Boston is in the way. I don't think Boston wants to see us. I honestly think that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown do not want to see this Knicks team. I can't believe this camera is out of focus. This thing is making me. That camera is making me so frustrated, bro. I'm just gonna have to buy one of those cameras like Ron and John have. those cameras that Ron and John have, bruh. I'm gonna have to get me one of them $900 cameras that Ron and John them have, bro. I gotta get me a Shure mic like Ron and John them, bro, where they, you know what I'm saying, they stuff is pristine. I'm just a little ghetto boy trying to do a little podcast, a little something. Trying to talk to my friends on the internet. $19 comment NYC is in the building. Comment was good. He said, why do the Mets trade or draft players under 6 feet, bro? I don't know. And then they let other players that are the perfect archetype walk. Right? I'm still mad they let Michael Conforto walk. And then throwing Canna out there in left field. Wiz is in the building. Wiz, salute, sir. Wiz says, just let me know where Ron lives and I can get one for you. No thanks, bro. I'm good. I'm good. I'll pass. I'll pass on that one. Salute to the greatest borough that has ever existed, the Bronx, New York. Salute to the Bronx. Salute to Queens, Manhattan, whatever. Manhattan, okay, Manhattan, I see you. Harlem, I guess. Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Harlem, I guess, right? What's the other joint? What's the other borough? The other borough with the complex. They always say, you always forget about us. What's the other borough? They got they don't have a subway. What's the Bricks Nation? What's the borough that don't have a subway? I know what it is. I just want I know what it is. I just want to troll for a little bit. Salute to all 5 boroughs and surrounding areas. Salute to my hometown of Jersey City, New Jersey. Salute to Newark and Patterson and Passaic. Salute to Westchester, New Rochelle, Mount Vernon, Yonkers. Yeah, man. Salute to the island. You know what I'm saying? Hempstead, Central Islip. Yeah, man. Salute to Brentwood. Salute out there on the island where people out there got money. Salute to all my spots in Queens, Far Rock, Jamaica, Queensbridge. Salute to all my relatives, all them Jacksons. Salute to all the Jacksons and Thompsons, and Bronx River. Salute to Inwood. I know, everybody. I know. I look mad fuzzy on the joint, man. I know. Ain't nothing I can do about. Let me see if I can do something. Let me see. I'm gonna view it on YouTube. Let me see. Let me see how it look. Yeah, it looked mad fuzzy. Y'all. I'm sorry, but ain't nothing I can really do about it. I'm trying to. Let me see if I can reset the camera. I'm gonna see if I can reset the camera just real quick. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can reset the camera. I apologize, everybody. The camera is just on the fritz. Wiz says, I am a Jamaican from Brooklyn. You can take the brother out of Brooklyn, but you can't take. Okay, I see you. I see you, Wiz. I see you, Wiz. And JJ says Freezie camera injured like all the Knicks. Yeah, man, my camera is up here in street clothes. Yo, my camera is up here with a cardigan on and some vintage J's. Yo, comment says, hey, the cam is still on All-Star break. Yo, my camera is up here with all his jewelry on. My camera is up here wearing all 40 of his necklaces at one time. My camera is up here wearing 2 watches. Camera up here in street clothes, man. I apologize. I was just on I was just Comment said my camera up here flossing, sitting next to Anthony Davis, I guess. My camera is up here sitting next to Zion. Camera out here sitting next to Paul George at the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see if I can fix it, man. Hold on. Let me hold on, everybody. Be patient with me real quick, man. I hope that's better. I hope this is better. Donald Cannon, thank you for the generous contribution. Donald Cannon says, here's to the Uncle Freezie fund for Sony Alpha 7 RV. I hope so, man. Let me take this. So I'm going to take this, the virtual. I don't have a green screen behind me, so I'm just going to remove Richard Pryor's face, and then hopefully that'll settle everything back down. Bim. Okay. I hope that's better, everybody. I hope that's better. And Donald Ken, thank you for the generous contribution, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, I was on with the Queen Bee earlier. I wasn't having no camera issue, and then all of a sudden I come up here to chop it up. And then everybody get up. It's time to jam now.
Bim.
What's up, Coach?
Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. Coach, I was just legit. I was just about to reach for my phone and tell you and ask you if you could come up because my camera was in street clothes. My camera was out here like Anthony Davis. And so I couldn't figure it out. How you been, brother?
It'd be nice if I unmuted. Pretty good, man. Just, all-star break blues, just waiting for this thing to get popping again.
Right.
Salute everybody in the chat.
Hey, are you a positive Knicks fan?
Very. I'm also realistic.
A wait and see Knicks fan or a negative Knicks fan? Very positive, you said?
I would say I'm positive as far as I realize what we have whenever we have it or we don't have it. And I always tend to look on the glass half full positive side of expectations of what we got.
Okay. I have a lot of consternation.
It's a big word.
I don't know another word to express how I'm feeling though. I wish I could just use a simple you ever heard of Occam's razor?
Oh, right? Yeah.
Like how you use 1,000 words to say something you could have said in 7. So I don't want to do that. Right. I'd prefer just to be plain, right?
Yeah.
But in this scenario, though, I don't know how to express how I feel about the injury bug in 7 words.
This is the Knicks universe black hole where all the injury bugs need to get sucked into it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
That part, it's obviously wait and see. But the positive side of me, because I have a medical background, I know the injuries all our guys have, or they can come back from it.
Okay. Yo, can I tell you something funny? May I share a funny life story with you? So I took my big rump to the doctor. I guess Coach didn't want to hear the story. Coach just broke out. But I tell y'all though, I went to the doctor. I've been eating right, man, eating these celery sticks, eating sliced cucumbers, man. I'm drinking, like y'all see me, like I have these cups, right? I've been drinking like the diet tea and diet lemonade, no sugar added, no sugar, none of that, all of that stuff, right? Go to the doctor. I'm in one, y'all ever been in like the room they put you in where you wait on the doctor? So I'm in one room waiting, And then there's a lady in another room beside me. I see her. She was huge too. The lady was about 6 foot, about 300 pounds. Whatever, it happens, right? It's life, right? And I'm coming out, and she was like, "Thank you, doctor, for prescribing the such and such and such. It helped me lose 120 pounds." And I was like, "Dang. Wait a minute. She prescribed something to you and
Sorry,
you
guys.
lost 120 pounds?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's just a needle. I just jugged myself and it just stopped me from eating." And so I was like, "Yo, wait a minute. You telling me, JJ, you telling me that I've been legit eating healthy for 2 years and have lost 18 pounds in 24 months, and this lady got a needle she jugged herself with, and in 6 months or so she lost like 120 pounds." Yo, hand to the man, I cannot figure this out. Coach, I want to be a skinny guy real bad, bro. I want to be a thin guy real bad, right? So I walk the dogs, I eat right? Like, I don't eat anything super salty. I don't eat it, you know what I'm saying? Try to do the right thing, right? And they give a lady a needle, she just jugged herself with
Yeah,
it.
get that Dick Gregory.
Pounds. Huh?
Yeah, get that Dick Gregory.
Hey, son, fix me some of that Dick Gregory. Fix me some of that Dick Gregory. Yo, coach, so wait a minute. So, okay, so if you're doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying, nobody give you nothing. You just gotta, it take you 24 months to lose 18 pounds, right? By walking and all that. And they trying to explain, man, when you're muscular, it's more difficult. If you're not a thing, you're a big body. And they gave a lady a needle. She just jugged herself, bro. She lost 120 pounds.
Damn, I need to get me some of that.
Some of that Dick Gregory. Yeah, man. Right. And Kerry Cox says, research Dr. Sebi for weight loss. Yeah, I need to, man. I need to, because the older you get, once you get into your 50s, the harder it is for you to kind of shed stuff. And Donald Cannon says, Ozempic, that's what I'm taking now. LOL. Really? Coach, you know what that is?
Yeah, it's just one of them things that, I mean, it works for some people, doesn't work for some. You got to find what works for you.
Yeah.
In the end, it's all got to be a lifestyle choice change.
Bro, you know what I ate when I left the doctor's office? Still
was it
ate
a
healthy.
drive-through?
I still ate healthy, bro. Baked fish in aluminum foil. You put your fish in the foil with the lemon and pepper.
Lemon, yeah.
And this lady just jugged herself for like 6 months, and she lost 120 pounds. But you know what? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Anyway,
how can you just leave me standing alone in a world that's so cold?
Right.
Remember there was a time when you could just eat like Taco Bell every night and Mickey D's and a couple of rows of Oreos,
right,
some Twinkies and some peanut butter cups, and
right,
you still be in shape.
Right.
Remember them days?
Right.
That's what you need to get, some of that.
Yo, even the other day, I was no lie. So I'll share this with y'all. I know it's the internet. I'll share this with y'all, and I'm gonna get back to the Knicks talk. I just wanted to. I think Coach disappeared, so I just wanted to spin the wheels a little bit until Coach got back, right? But until Coach was ready. But the other day, I was doing push-ups, and my dogs don't like me doing push-ups because they like to try to lick me in my face, right? When I'm doing push-ups. Coach, I got to like 60. I got to like, let me not overstate it. So I got to about 40 push-ups, right? And so I was like, oh, wait a minute. Man, let me get myself up off this floor. I went to get up off the floor and backfired, bro. You ever backfired before, Coach, in front of somebody? All you can say is excuse me. I mean, it's like you can't get the fart back. You know what I'm saying?
You do that little whoop noise.
I tried to get up over the floor and backfired. So that's how I knew for sure I had to do something. I had to do something, bro. But anyways, back to this Knicks talk, man. What are we gonna do after when this All-Star break is over?
Start winning again.
Even without OG Anunoby? OG Anunoby won't be back for another week and a half.
Yeah. iHeart and Dante will be back. We were winning when they were there.
Can we beat Boston Saturday night without OG and Randall and Mitch?
I mean, I'm gonna say no to be realistic, but I'll be really happy if we do. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't bet on it. That's for sure.
If we lose to Boston, I think I'm going to be some type of frustrated.
The part that frustrates me is every game we play now against an upper echelon playoff team, it's going to be like, man, I wonder how we do if we had everybody. Like, you know.
Right.
We were 12-1 with Randall and OG and Nobi together. We only got 13 games of that.
Right.
Man. But what this has done, I think in the end, it's fast forwarded Achua's comfort with the team. It's shown us that Dante DiVincenzo has to be accounted for. You know, that's an extra little weapon teams got to think about. They can't just let him. I mean, it used to be 2 years, the last time we were in the playoffs before we had Brunson, they can just cover Randall and let everyone else beat you.
Right.
And they can't do that no more with us.
Before I elaborate more on that point, I want to make a point to you. I want to put it on record. So it's a 3-parter. If you could just be patient with me on it. All right. So here goes. Right. So here goes. I think Tom Thibodeau is a kingmaker. Right. And when I say kingmaker, what I'm saying is I think Tom Thibodeau can take a young veteran, right? I think he could take a young veteran and turn him into Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Jalen Brunson, right? I think Tibbs can take a 25-year-old, 26-year-old player, right? and turn him into a Precious Achua type player, right? And what I mean by that, to elaborate on it, when you look at Julius Randle's career before Tibbs, he was one thing. When you look at Julius Randle with Tibbs, he's a different thing. When you look at Isaiah Hartenstein on all the other teams with 1,000 different coaches, he was one thing. With Tom Thibodeau, he's something else, right? When you look at Jalen Brunson, right? Jalen Brunson in Dallas was one thing, right? Jalen Brunson with Tom Thibodeau is another thing, right? When you look at Josh Hart, with all the other teams Josh Hart played for, he was one thing. Josh Hart under Tom Thibodeau is another thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying to you is Dante DiVincenzo in a limited sample size with 3 other teams was one thing. Dante DiVincenzo with the Knicks is another thing. Precious Achua on 2 other teams was one thing. Precious Achua with Tom Thibodeau is a separate, different thing. OG Anunoby in Toronto was not this type of player in Toronto. And I know people have been trying to tell me, yes, he was, Uncle Freezie. Yes, no, he was not. Y'all are not the only ones with League Pass or internet. I promise you. OG Anunoby, if OG Anunoby in January was the OG Anunoby we saw in January with the Knicks, if he had been that the previous 6 seasons with Toronto, he'd still be there. He'd still be there. Right? My thing is I think it may be a little time. I think it may be time for us to say maybe Tom Thibodeau deserves some credit for developing. And with that said, I think we may need to look out for a breakout from OG Anunoby, from Dante DiVincenzo, from Precious Achua. And if these breakouts occur along with the guys that have already broken out in Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, I think we may be mighty formidable or formidable, however you want to say it, when the playoffs start. Am I on the island by myself?
No, I mean, each coach out there has their strengths and weaknesses and all that stuff, right? We all know, and what he has shown is he's not one of them coaches that develops a guy from scratch,
Right.
like a new guy coming in. But he's got something in him that when a guy has a base to work with, and maybe that last little over the hump thing.
Yeah. He's a high school principal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Clark.
Yeah. Well, that, or like, yeah, he was kind of like, if you want to do like football references, like a Gruden, where when Tony Dungy did all the groundwork for the Bucks, and then they just couldn't get over the hump. But there's something about when Gruden came in and sprinkled some offensive juju on them and just put up a couple guys went to the next level, you know.
Right.
And
right.
That's what I think. The thing is with Thibodeau, because of his system defensively and because of his expectations of the players that are on his team, every player we get is always going to be a notch above where they were before defensively. So if we bring someone in like, oh, he's no good at defense, or he's not this, he's not that. Well, with us, he is. You know, he might be a little better. Like, I knew DiVincenzo was scrappy,
Right.
but he wasn't known for his flat out just defense. I mean, he's a pretty good defender.
Yeah.
Like he's showing me a lot more defensively than I expected when he got here.
Last year, he was ranked the 11th best defensive guard in the NBA.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah. Quentin Grimes last year was ranked the 28th best guard in the NBA. And Josh Hart was ranked the 78th best defensive guard in the NBA. Right. And so the numbers are, when you hear the numbers, you're like, man, 78, that's bad, right? No, that's actually, when you're talking about like 300, how many guards are in the NBA right now? Like 250, maybe 200, 250 guards in the NBA?
It's probably 3 or at least 4 to 6 on every team. So, yeah, it's probably about 200. 150 to 200 for sure.
It was some number. IKBM Dre and I uncovered right before the signing period, the free agent signing period last year.
Mm-hmm.
And when people were calling Grimes a top 10 defender, and we were just looking for data to support it, and there was no data to support it. Is he a good defensive guard? Yes. Right. Is he Lou Dort? Relax. Come on, man. Is he Drew Holiday? Come on, y'all. We got to relax. Right.
That's the guy I'm worried about playing Boston.
Yeah. I ain't worried about none of them, bro. I think they worried about us.
Oh, they're worried about us, but I mean, just out of it's just like Drew Holiday is the kind of guy that's like, we do the work we need to do against Tatum and Brown, but then Drew Holiday gets 37. You know, it's
right.
Like, well, he's that kind of player for me. Like, to me, like I just don't. That I know they're worried about us, but we got to be at full strength for me to feel comfortable with that series. I think we have more dogs than they do when we're at full strength.
Say it again.
I think we have more dogs than they do.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to Mitch and iHeart and Achua and whoever giving Porzingis the business the whole game.
Right.
So they run Tatum at the 4 in their best 5 lineup?
I think so. Let's bring our guy in real quick. Hold on.
bing, 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 bing.
Salute,
Salute,
brothers.
Dre,
Salute,
what's
coach.
good?
Salute, Freezie. Salute to the chat. I was listening to what you were saying, saying, coach, in terms of like us having more dogs. I wanted to even add on to that a little bit. I think in terms of like their entire team, Drew Holiday and Derek White for their positions are very physical players, but every other position that we line up against them, we have more physical guys in that team. And that could be the equalizer in a playoff series where the refs may not call every little ticky tack foul. It's part of the reason why the Heat gave them problems too, because while they were the less talented team, they out physical them, and then they won, especially from the 3-point line. So I mean, from like styles make fights, right?
Right.
But with the additions of all the shooting that we got and the toughness that we already have on this team, it kind of makes it so we can play basically any type of style they want to play. Like if they want to play the up and down game, we got guys that can snipe. If they want to be rough and tough, who's their toughest front court guy? Al Horford? Like, that doesn't move me. Even though Al Horford has guarded,
Xavier Tillman ain't no joke, bro.
he's not no joke.
I just picked him
But
up.
he's not no joke. But do you think that scares Julius Randle?
I think Achua
No.
and him are gonna have some good little second string battles.
Like, and to the Xavier Tillman point, if we look up like the advanced analytics defensive EPM, Xavier Tillman is number 2 in the league. Isaiah Hartenstein is number 1 in the league.
Yeah.
In defensive EPM. So yeah, like they added a guy that's a versatile defender, but it's like I think that low key Freezie, I think they added him because of the Knicks. Quiet as kept.
Yeah.
The Knicks and Giannis as well.
They had to, because and what I think worried, I know this is gonna sound crazy to say, but the ascension and the surprise that we got with Precious made them nervous, because I don't think Al Horford can hang with Precious Achua.
Hey, hold on. Let me bring my guy in real quick, Coach.
You know,
I got to bring in Superstar real quick. He backstage. You know how it is in the green room. Cats be getting mad, impatient, patting their foot. Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. All right, Anthony. Good God, man. We got to do all of that just because you show up, bro.
Absolutely.
Salute the one half of Old School Knicks live on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. I'm your man, the number one chief rock in Knicks universe, Uncle Freezie. The other and most important part of the duo, still the real AD is in the building. What's good? Salute.
Can't be more important than you, Freezie. Bim, cut it out. Cut it out. Salute, gentlemen. How we doing?
Doing all right.
Good, man.
Doing all right, brother.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, chat. Good morning, Uncle Freezie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, y'all. So salute. Big up yourself, bro. Hey, but I wanted to point out this thing, Dre, to I guess to what the stat that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I think you said defensive BPM, right? Can you explain what that is?
Okay, so I'll break it down in the most simple way imaginable. In terms of its actual definition, it stands for estimated plus minus. So it's basically how good your team plays in terms of the score when you're on the court compared to when you're off the court.
Okay.
And it literally views Isaiah Hartenstein as one of the most impactful defenders in the NBA. Well, according to the statistic, the number one most impactful defender in the NBA. Now, some of it can be skewed, right? But for the most part, if you were to look up who's in the top 20 and like defensive EPM, it's the who's who of defenders. Like
Hey,
you
do you
got
have a
Jonathan.
link to it? Do you have a link to it?
Yeah, I have it for you right here. I posted it in the chat.
Okay.
Here you go, Freezy.
Yeah, I want to send it to the chat so the chat can see what data is driving the conversation. But while Dre does that, Cowboy Bob, welcome. What's good, sir?
Good morning.
Anthony
How are
B
you guys
in the
doing?
Welcome, Bob.
Morning,
I
Coach.
dropped it in the chat.
Morning, Dre. Morning, Dill
Morning.
AD.
Morning, brother.
Yeah. Well,
But
you know how I
when
feel.
you select it, you gotta press the defense angle, and then
I
it'll
was gonna
sort it out.
ask you
Go ahead.
about with that stat. I wanted to know, is that only for defense or is it also for offense?
Well, there's a straight up raw EPM number, which it puts everything together for like who's the most impactful player overall.
Because it's crazy. The reason why I say that is because I know Tatum is like plus when he's on the court. I think it's like plus 22 or something. But when he's off the court, it's like negative 40. And I wanted to know if that tied into your EPM system.
Well, it counts, but if you look at it, like if you actually looked at it and sorted it out, like right now, in terms of total EPM on that thing, it's basically a who's who of who's the most impactful players in the league. And the eye test matches up with the actual numbers in terms of who's the most impactful on a night in and night out basis in terms of who's dominant on offense or dominant on defense.
Okay. So we would use
front offices use EPM more than they use like something like defensive rating.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
To quantify a player's impact. So this is why, like, when we talk about like a guy like Isaiah Hartenstein, if an analytically inclined front office would pay him what he's worth in the summer, which this front office is. So I'm almost. I have like no doubt they'll bring it back. So to be absolutely honest with you,
but Brunson is 8th in the league in offense, and that's that.
Yeah.
He's behind Halliburton, Jokic, Doncic, Embiid, Shea Gilgeous, Steph Curry, and Giannis.
All NBA performers.
That's like basically all elites right there.
Yeah. So
that late eat, so to speak.
So your question is do the Knicks have a star now? Yes, we do.
All NBA caliber.
A superstar. We have an all NBA caliber.
We have two, Coach. We have two. Not just one.
Yeah.
We have two. And that's a rarity as Knicks culture that I say that I haven't seen in a while. And every time we've had two, this happens. Thank you, Scott.
When I scroll down just a little bit further down, Dante's on this list too.
Yeah, man. Hey, hold on for a split second, yo. Yo, what's good, boss?
What up, man?
Welcome.
Salute. What up, man? I thought maybe I'd bring a little energy to y'all tonight, man. I thought maybe I'd be in here talk about that great All-Star game from yesterday, man.
Oh God.
Sorry, the people you are trying to grab interest in are not here.
All right. No, it was good.
400 points, bro.
Bro, listen, man.
I bet the over.
Hey, I don't know if you've been on.
Thing. How y'all had 25 3-pointers from the East or 23 3-pointers in the first quarter? How y'all take that many shots? Like that's all it looked like, a 3-point contest to me.
Nobody like I'm a player as unfortunately as painfully. These guys make too much money to even risk getting hurt, so they're just gonna. It's gonna be a straight up track meet where they're just gonna throw up a bunch of threes because it's like the least. you're least likely to get hurt if you're taking a bunch of jumpers. That's literally what's gonna happen. So when
It's
you
all
see these
Damian Lillard
guys,
fault, bro. You know I blame
Thank
Damian
you.
Lillard.
I've been trying. Thank you. Thank you. I hate him, yo. Ever since he came to the East, it's like they keep pushing this narrative that him and Giannis are gonna win a championship or something. Like the Knicks ain't been building, like other teams ain't been building. Like Dame's just gonna come here and be this whole forthcoming. I don't even think he deserved the award. I think Hallie deserved it. So
where
I'm
you
on
going with
I'm on
that?
the
Where you
hate
going
for
there,
Dame
Freezy?
right now.
I didn't
Right.
know
Let
you
me
was going there.
right.
It's going all the way there.
Yeah. I want to ask y'all, since Rel is here, I've been trying to pin this on Rel in a private text for a minute, and I think he's dodging it. But since I have him here, I'm just gonna ask. Not that question, bro. Not that one. Not the all-time question.
Oh, okay.
But the do you guys feel like there are an abundance of fan bases that feel as if one or two things go right, they can be the NBA champs because of what they saw from the Toronto Raptors 5 years ago and the Denver Nuggets last year? And Rel, since you the big homie, I ask Rel first. Rel, do you think the Dallas Mavericks are maybe one or two things away, or one or two things going right away from being the next NBA champion?
I mean, we just gotta stay healthy, man. That's all. What's up, Wiz? No, we just gotta stay healthy, man. That's all. That's what we've been battling all year. Can't stay healthy. We had the
Right.
most lineup changes all year out of every team in the league, man. So Luke been literally having to carry a wet bag of laundry, man.
Yeah.
Why everybody get healthy. So health and we're finally starting to get the pieces that we need, man, to trade. So I've been telling you I've been knowing you for about 2 years now, Freezy. And what's the
Right.
main thing I've been telling you we've been needing? We've
Y'all
been
finally
needing
have
big.
it.
We finally got. I've been saying it for the last. You've been hearing me scream. I've been screaming longer than that, but you've been hearing me say this for about 2 years. I've been saying it, man. We finally got it. We got two of them now. I mean, I never thought we would have two of them, but we
Right.
finally got two of them. We finally got a power forward. I mean, it's what I've been screaming for the longest that we needed, and it's starting to show. The immediate impact that they brought as soon as they got here. So
Right.
that's what we've been missing, man. But as far as other teams, I'm not gonna lie to you. There are teams that I look at that I can say like they can be a Toronto. I used to think that Brooklyn could be that team. Like they have the length, they have the athleticism, they have the on ball defenders and all that stuff. I always felt like they were like that Kawhi away. I always said y'all were like that team. I always felt like y'all were like a Kawhi away. I had some other teams on top of my head I can't remember right now, but just for example, like you see the pieces starting to form, and they're just that one more piece away. That
Right.
Kawhi piece. Because I know you brought up Toronto, and that's the perfect example. Like Toronto was that team, and we saw they
Right.
had the pieces. They were that Kawhi away, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I always thought permitting health, the Clippers were that team. They were the team that was a Kawhi away, but just couldn't stay healthy. So
Right.
it's just like, yeah, I mean, there are teams in the league, man. That if they just had that one thing that at Kawhi, it'd probably be in the contention for
Right.
as a championship contender or whatever.
I
Right.
mean, I don't think we're that far. Like, I don't think we need someone as good as Kawhi. Like, there's some teams that need, like, I mean, at the time Kawhi did that, he was probably the top 3 players in the league at the time, really.
Right.
Technically, he was. And you add anybody of that caliber to any team, you're immediately a top 4 threat, in your conference, regardless of who else is floating around. To me, we have so much, like depth-wise, when we do get healthy. I don't think we can't say what we are away because we haven't been our team yet. Now that we've got all our people, we've only been our team we are now. Well, we haven't yet because now we got Burks and Bojanovic. But before them, we were 12-1 with Randall, Brunson, and OG together.
And they ain't played yet, right? The new guys.
No, they weren't even there yet.
Well, they've all played, just not together.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm talking about, but Donovan and him had played though, right?
No,
Yeah,
they
played.
played, but not together. And then we're like fighting the injury bug in terms of like we having to play Taj Gibson minutes in the year. The Lord of our Savior 2024.
You know what's bad when you sign someone for a 10-day contract and they start a game.
And they start.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
Freezie. I'm sorry, Dre. Freezie, let me ask you a question. Do you not think that Denver's championship and Toronto's championship were solid wins from that team?
The reason why
those
I asked
teams?
Right, I got you. But the reason why I asked the original question is because teams knock on the door for a very long time, right? And when teams knock on the door don't forget that Toronto team had been knocking on the door, but they couldn't get by LeBron.
Yep.
Right. And this Denver team has always been that team knocking on the door, but they may have been one or two pieces away. Right. And when I asked you the question, or asked you this question specifically, notice I didn't say one or two major trades away. Right. I asked if you're one or two pieces away, or one or two actions away. Right. And since it's post trade deadline, no other team in the NBA can make a trade right now anyway. Right. And so now you have to think about the situation where, do you have the answers on your roster, or is it too late to make scheme adjustments for the personnel you have, like coming out of the All-Star break? Do you tinker with your rotation? And the reason why I asked Rel this is because what happens is, historically, teams that hire a point guard as a head coach, they tinker too much. They legit, regardless of what the point guard is, bro, you could say Tyronn Lue, Doc Rivers, Nate McMillan, Quinn Snyder, whoever it is, they tend to tinker too much and not let things grow organic. Regardless.
Can you say it again? Say that again, Freezie, for the people in the back.
Yeah, they tinker so much that you don't get that organic growth and chemistry. You have players on your roster kind of on pins and needles. They may come to your team like Evan Fournier, thinking they're going to be a major contributor, and then the head coach is like, nah, I know you were our prized signing in the offseason, but we're just not going to play you because I'm tinkering.
Yep.
But Freezie, they're supposed to tinker. You know, the coach has to get the right pieces together to run his philosophy for wins. You see what I'm saying? It's like, let's use Fournier, okay? Now, I've said this before a million times. I'll go to my grave knowing that Tibbs did not want Fournier and Kemba Walker.
Okay.
They were not his guys. And you saw it early with Kemba. It was hard to really watch, because here Kemba is an all-time great New York ball player.
But AD, my point was point guard. Tom Thibodeau was not an NBA point. What I'm saying is Rick Carlisle, for instance, and where's Rick Carlisle at? In Indiana?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the coach? What's the coach in Chicago?
Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan, yeah. But Rick Carlisle, Billy Donovan, both of them former New York Knicks point guards, right? When you watch them,
Billy Donovan was like 2 days. Can you stop it?
They were here at the same time. No, Michael Jackson.
Billy Donovan is here for like 2 days.
Man, you remember Michael Jackson was here for 2 days. They like gave him a uniform and they're like,
they walked in and walked out.
Yeah.
He didn't even carry an extra toothbrush and an extra suit. He was out.
Didn't he have a jersey made?
He didn't have a jersey.
But Billy Donovan is
there's no footage. There's no
but
footage.
he's still a former NBA point guard. He didn't just play
Yes, he
for.
is.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Scott Skiles. You remember Scott Skiles? Former coach Scott Skiles? These point guards, coach, I think what they do is they get so much information and intel, right, that they forget about the one thing that's important. Anybody remember Derek Fisher?
Oh, I know y'all remember.
Yeah. Lakers.
Oh, like I already suppressed that. And you had to bring it back.
Come on, Freezie.
Freezie trying to give us PTSD.
You know what?
Yeah, Derek Fisher came here and was told to run the triangle. When Derek Fisher stopped running the triangle, the big chief got upset.
Right. And
what about point guards that played GM? Isaiah Thomas.
Oh man,
Isaiah Thomas on the. But think about Isaiah Thomas.
He was also a coach.
Isaiah Thomas on the bench and with the Knicks and with Indiana tinkered too much. Right. And so I know it seems like a random point, and I know people are scouring their brains trying to find an example of a point guard that was dominant. We could say Pat Riley, but he was a combo guard.
Yeah, I could say he was a guard. Wasn't he a shooting guard?
Yeah.
And Steve Kerr, technically, he was more of a shooting guard.
Yeah.
But Steve was point guard at Arizona.
Yeah.
So he came in the league as a point guard.
The thing with me though, Freezie, like when you talking about tinkering, the part that from our standpoint here in Dallas, the part I don't like is, I understand the tinkering. Everybody tinkers, right? That's not the problem. The problem is when you're still tinkering like 70 games into the season.
But that's my point, though.
Yeah, that's why I figured you was going. That's why I was waiting on. Like,
right,
it's not a certain point you gotta stop tinkering, man. Have something said.
It's the over tinkering. Like Coach, what I'm getting at is it's okay to formulate a tinker with stuff in the off season, and then bring it into the regular season, and then give it some time. And if it don't work, go back to the old stuff that you were doing.
Right.
But when you're tinkering at 20 games, at 40 games, at 60 games, at 80 games, you're still tinkering with lineups and all these type of things. What you're doing to your team, and it's not fair, and it's probably wrong for me to say, but players are creatures of habit, and they need to get into rhythms.
I said,
yeah, but look,
if you're
tinkering,
I've been saying this, Freezie, but go ahead.
But look at Golden State. I'm sorry, Coach. Look at Golden State right now. Okay, Kerr has been fighting a fight for the last God knows how many games with Thompson, right? And he has to he has to delicately tinker because you talking with a dude who's got 4 championships, but in truth, he's better off the bench. The coach Kerr has to do nothing but delicately tinker with this guy.
That's not fair.
Yeah, and AD and what I'm saying is I'm speaking in very general terms. Like if we just use a one-off, then a one-off can't be the example, right? If we're talking about maybe one of the greatest coaches of all time, still having a top 10 player of all time on his roster. Right, we can't necessarily say that should be the example because if everybody had a Steph Curry and Steve Kerr,
exactly,
what are we even talking about?
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're still tinkering after
the All-Star break,
there's three problems that could be going on. Number one, you're not good enough at assessing your talent.
Right.
Number two, your team's not good enough. That's why you keep tinkering. Right. Or number three, both.
But or number three, Coach, I was going to say you're not qualified to be in that position. If what you're doing is not working, you're not the guy. Right? It's the reason why Jock Vaughn, former NBA coach, got fired. I mean, former NBA point guard got fired today for tinkering too much. Dudes can't get in there. Thomas is a starter. We're featuring Cam Thomas in the offense. Oh, no, we're not. He's coming up.
But Coach, 3 overrules number 1. If you do a good evaluation on a player and they bomb out, is that really your fault? No. Look at exactly our situation right now. RJ's perfect example. Quickly, these guys were looked at a certain way and needed to be developed as such. They weren't developed as such, but they were still used in a piece to where we can move forward.
Right.
That's why I say when you say if you're tinkering after 60 games, your team isn't
that
good.
means
No, it's not that.
right.
You can have a
That
very
means
good talent of evaluation. Like a lot of people don't see that. It just
I
doesn't
didn't
work.
say that. I didn't say the team was like. You can have a whole team of talented players, but you could have a bad team. How many times?
Remember the coach. Real quick,
how many times have we seen that?
Is not about just any coach tinkering. Notice I said former NBA point guards. Yeah, I said that specifically, not just any coach. It's just a certain group that you see and you know what is going to happen because they cannot help themselves. Coach, I'm almost in that boat of give me a Spoelstra, Popovich type of long-time basketball guy to be the coach. Somebody from the film room with no attachment to the floor to be the coach, as opposed to bringing in a former NBA great at point guard.
Yeah, Freezie, but here's the thing with that, Freezie, and I think you're oversimplifying this thing with the point guards at being the former coaches, because Freezie, a Spoelstra is a one-off. To your point, as a one-off, he was groomed in the Miami situations and so forth. That I don't think that's fair, because sometimes a player, right? You can only remember early with Spoelstra and LeBron and them. At one point in time, LeBron was walked off the court and literally gave him a forearm shot to the. Remember that? Literally, that 6 foot. That 6'9" man bumped a 5'8" dude. If Spoelstra wasn't as sturdy as he was and didn't make it an issue. You know, everybody on this panel know darn right. Early on,
LeBron tried to get him fired.
LeBron tried to get him fired.
Bro, relax, dude.
Sometimes
hit him you act like he hit him like Roy Williams, bro. You act like
he did.
He deserved to be hit.
You think he'd have hit Tyronn Lue like that? Remember when Cleveland got rid of the international coach and they brought Lue in?
Black.
Right, when they got rid of Black, when they brought Lue in, the first thing Lue was doing was told LeBron, shut up.
Yeah, both sides walked away. David Black and the Cavs agreed to walk away.
No, Black got fired.
Yeah, no.
LeBron fired him.
No, both sides agreed that.
No. Both sides agreed that LeBron told you to leave.
He said both sides agreed.
Wow.
Look, I don't think it's just point guards though. How many Hall of Fame players have become a great coach?
Great point.
Larry Bird.
Yeah. He wasn't even that
he's
great.
A great
coach. Was Larry a great coach now?
Larry won a ton of games,
but because he didn't win a championship, everybody's saying that he.
But he only coached
Cowboy.
He only coached for 3 years though. But he
Bird walked into a situation that was pretty good already.
Yeah. But a lot of coaches can walk into situations.
I'm gonna say Doc Rivers, for example.
Thank you. Look at Doc Rivers right now.
Former NBA point guard.
Yeah, look at Doc Rivers right now.
And look how bad he is.
Look at Doc Rivers with the 76ers.
Here's the point I'm getting at is this. When guys can do certain things at a certain level, okay? Like, for instance, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Good Will Hunting or whatever. Yeah. There was this scene where he was explaining, because he was a guy that's super smart and just knew things without even studying. He just knew everything. He was a genius. So he explained about Beethoven. When Beethoven went to a piano, he could just play. Okay? He can't explain to some layman's person like why he can do what he can do on that piano. He just does it. So guys like Michael Jordan and Magic and all these people that were superstars or tried to coach,
Thomas.
They don't understand how. What do you mean you can't do this? I did it. kind of a
You
thing.
remember Reggie? You remember when Reggie White was a coach? Remember defensive lineman Reggie White?
Oh, yeah,
Oh God.
Terrible.
Like, why don't you have the greatness in you that I have?
Right.
Man,
All you
like-
gotta do is throw
like
him off.
I personally had problem, and I was not, I played a little bit of college and some arena league, and I sniffed on a practice squad for half a year, but I know a thing or two about the running back position. When I coach like high school players, I can't understand why they can't just do regular ladder drills and footwork drills. It drives me crazy.
Right.
But it's something that came so secondhand and natural to me personally. Like, to me, I'm like, if I play music at my first practice and I make my running backs dance.
Right.
Like, see, if you ain't got rhythm, you're a linebacker.
You're a linebacker. Yep.
Because they all want to be Barry Sanders, coach.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in the NBA. All the guards they want to be Curry.
Yeah, Steph.
Yeah,
but
there's only one.
I just want to. Y'all mind if I just remind just briefly? Y'all remember the NBA coach Avery Johnson?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
Former coach of the year.
Avery Johnson, bro, a tinkerer.
He wasn't a superstar though.
Y'all remember Scott Skiles?
Mm-hmm.
A tinkerer, bro.
Orlando.
Yeah, they tinker too much.
Avery got his team to the finals.
Yeah, and 80, that's what I was gonna say. If they taste a little, they tinker so much that if they taste a little bit of success, like if they create a Giannis, you can't tell them nothing for the rest of their life.
Hold on, who you talking about, Freezie? Can you put a name on it?
No, I'm just saying in general, bro. I'm saying
because everything you say sounds like somebody sounds real familiar, Freezie. That's all I'm saying.
To me, it just seems like because of the way the game has changed and the analytics, and there's a lot of psychology stuff that's going on too. Like, that's why journeyman ex-players tend to be good coaches, because they really know the grind and the trials and tribulations and the how to relate to the guy at the end of the bench,
how to fit into a system.
Yeah.
And how to be helpful to the superstar.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
what do you mean, yeah?
What
Think about
Portland?
all the best ones have been like fringe.
What about Portland?
Who's Portland's
Chauncey
coach?
Billups? Chauncey Billups is basically
Chauncey
a star.
Billups, bro, is the example.
I want to know.
Billups
You
is
said a
basically a
journeyman.
star.
No, hold up. Coach just said a journeyman that knows how to play well and control, and that's exactly what Chauncey Billups was. You can't tell me Chauncey Billups was a superstar. You can't tell me
Hall of Famer though.
I mean, he's about to be a Hall of Famer though.
He went to like 7 straight conference finals.
We know
man.
But what is he doing as a coach though? Nothing.
That's like saying that Shaq was a journeyman. He played on a lot of teams too. But
No. That's not what I'm
LeBron
talking
has
about.
been on a lot
I'm
of
talking
teams,
about.
bro.
Go ahead.
Chauncey's a world champ.
Chauncey's the
besides
finals
that-
Finals
MVP.
MVP.
But what
He's a
has
Hall
he
of
done
Famer.
as a coach? Not all because he is a coach. I'm saying guys that have had some, the Phil Jacksons, the Pat Rileys.
Do you think Mark Jackson was successful? I think he was. But people don't.
I think he underachieved. Personally.
Under.
Here's the thing about
No, Dre.
NBA coaches.
I don't know about that one, Dre.
Your life.
Hey, look, man. He had Draymond riding the pine. The entire time.
That was
That
early.
was him one though.
Well, what did he take?
That was real early.
He
That was real early.
helped. I'll say this. He helped establish a defensive identity.
I'm about to
But
say,
the
'cause what was
offense-
Florida State before he got there, bro?
That they were terrible. But this is like the talent. They drafted 3 Hall of Famers while he was there,
In a 2-year stretch, right?
and he didn't play one of them. And then he developed. What he was running was like an antiquated pick and roll offense the entire time. The only thing that you might have got out of him that was fancy was that elevators play. That's
But
about it.
but management wasn't sold. They wasn't sold on Curry. Remember, Monte Ellis was there.
Mm-hmm.
Remember opening night, they
Curry.
booed the owner when they traded Monte Ellis. That's how much Golden State loved him. It took and that's not Mark Jackson.
No,
You know
no,
what I'm
no.
saying?
That was
Mark was
dysfunction
just
before.
that was just dysfunction. Mark didn't get Bogut. Mark didn't have what's my guy from Philly that came over the six man Iguodala.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he sure did. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Mark didn't have those finishing pieces. Mark had, so I wouldn't say Mark. Mark got them to a place where Kerr could close the jar.
And most people don't even remember early in Steph's career, he was injured. So he was making adjustment as a coach without his best players.
He was missing games, but he never missed like a 50-game stretch.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is without his stars that everyone's saying, oh, he had Steph Curry, he had Clay, he had to make adjustments as a coach without these players. Yes, Kerr had better backup guys, but if you look at what Mark did earlier in the career for Golden State, I don't think Kerr wouldn't even have that championship. But Mark Jackson gets no credit because he's never won. Same thing with Larry Bird.
I believe they won a round with him, and then they regressed the next year, and then they got him up out of there. And then Kerr came in and basically put the missing pieces together. I guess he fit them better than they thought.
Because he took on Mark Jackson's defense, but he added a twist with the offense.
Yeah,
open the offense up. That's why they took off the way they took off.
Yeah, basically.
Spoelstra played point guard in college, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He played at,
that guy is actually.
Didn't he play at the University of Portland or something?
Filipino John Starks. John Stockton, not John Starks.
He was on the court when Hank Gathers died.
Damn.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
he was on the court.
Yes, he was.
He was only like a few yards away from him.
Yes, he was.
Damn.
Rest in peace to
He
the
was
great,
in that game, man.
the great Hank Gathers.
Man, he was gonna be something, bro.
He was gonna be something, Freezie.
Yeah, he was gonna be something.
Freezie was gonna be something, Freezie.
Yeah, man.
Look, I'm not gonna say he was gonna be a great player, but he was gonna be something because that boy could run and that boy could jump and that boy could shoot.
And he could finish around the rim.
And he could finish.
Yeah, he could finish around the rim, man. Yeah, man. That dude was gonna be something.
Oh, it's gonna be something. There's him. What's my guy with Boston? Reggie Lewis. Oh my God, Reggie Lewis. Reggie Lewis was gonna be. Len was gonna be it.
Yeah, Len was better than Jordan, bro. Ain't nobody gonna tell me no different.
At that time in their career, absolutely.
Coming out of college. Yep.
Yeah, but the point guard thing that I'm mentioning to y'all, if you just think about it in context, right? How many former NBA point guards have you seen going to a team, especially a young team, right? Going to a team and just kept shuffling the deck chairs until they ruined everything. Like how many former NBA point guards you see made chocolate milk? They just kept shaking and stirring until they had chocolate milk, bro. Instead of
I'll give you one.
Most of them
Larry
just
Brown.
had
No.
Larry Brown.
Larry Brown is probably the originator.
You could say Lenny Wilkins.
Larry Brown, you mean Larry Brown 76?
Oh yeah, hey.
Lenny Wilkins.
I'll say this: Lenny Wilkins probably is the only Hall
and
of Fame.
probably y'all remember Paul Westphal?
Oh yeah, Westphal
with the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing about
Jerry Sloan.
I was just about to say, for every Jerry Sloan and Paul Westphal, you have 1,000 Scott Brooks and Chauncey Phillips.
What about Doug Collins?
Oh God.
Yeah, he's too big. Okay. He was a shooting guard. He was probably a small forward, but he was a shooting guard.
I mean,
I thought he was a shooting guard.
Derek Fisher.
But I think that the ex-player thing in general, it's going to be just becoming less and less. It really is.
Hey, Coach, I want to throw a thing at you right now, and AD frustrate me sometimes because he understands my mentality and understand where I'm going, so he speeds up the conversation before I'm ready to get there. He like the dude in the passenger seat, like hurry up, right? What I was going to say for the former NBA point guard conversation, I think you make a mistake by doing that because they see the floor unlike everybody else, so they constantly tinker. They're the point of offense and the point of defense, so they expect everybody to. But what you really need, in my opinion, is a teacher of the game, right? Like not a general, go do it. You need a guy, and for the sake of this conversation, I'm gonna make a comparison, and I already know y'all probably gonna kick me out of the conversation, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And my belief is that the Knicks are grooming their Eric Spoelstra right now. The Knicks, Eric Spoelstra is on their coaching staff right now. He's still under 40.
I know it is.
Right? He's still under 40. He relates to the players. He's an innovator. He can teach guys. He's probably one of the better teachers in the NBA if you listen to Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lillard. Right? I believe what's my man name? I forgot his name just that fast.
Bryant.
Johnny Bryant.
I think Johnny Bryant is being groomed at the moment to be the Knicks Eric Spoelstra.
Hold on, you sure it ain't Rick Brunson, bro?
No.
Nah, that's the assistant coach.
He's joking. But yeah,
Rick will be vice president at some point in time.
You know, he might be right. I can believe that. I can actually believe it.
Especially if Jalen brings a championship.
The thing about Rick Brunson is, in order to be a coach, you have to be an excellent communicator. And Rick Brunson on no level has ever been that guy where you like, hey, give Rick Brunson a microphone. Even during the half times when Rebecca pulled him to say, hey, coach, so does that have any? Yeah, you know, I just got to play harder. You know, we got to. You like, Rick, what are you saying?
Do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta close out defensively and clean up the boards. Really?
I love that. He's like, you got to hydrate on the bench and sit on the bench. And
man, come on. We've seen coaches do this on the check. Bill Belichick does it all the time. I love coaches
what
like
I'm
that.
saying is he don't know how to communicate what it is that he want to say.
Okay.
Bill Belichick knows exactly what he's thinking. He just don't share.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you.
So Coach, I was wanting to do like the little 15-minute thing. You know how we do the 15-minute videos or whatever? I was trying to save this for you, but then Coach talk about he got a job and a family and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, hey, I'm about to go, y'all.
Have a good one,
just about to what you could,
bro. Hey, I hope we see you in the finals, bro.
Hey, man, one thing I will say before I'm going to go, y'all will be getting y'all draft pick this year. It's guaranteed.
Right. Yeah, y'all screwed us over again like y'all did this year.
Early.
Now we got this year.
We definitely.
Y'all definitely getting y'all pick this year. I'm telling you that.
I have one question for you.
Same thing you did to OKC.
Be honest, you missed.
I already know what y'all trying to do, Dallas. Same thing you did to OKC early in the season in the draft, where y'all traded out of the top 10 and then go down and get the same exact. Y'all gonna try to do that again with us. That's why. No.
We getting that draft pick.
But y'all getting the draft pick, bro. Trust me, y'all getting the draft pick this year.
I believe it when they say Knicks have selected such and such.
Unless they lose 27 games in a row.
Yeah, unless we lose 100 games in a row. Y'all getting that pick.
And Luka is the best player on the planet right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, Coach?
You really gonna give up that pick? I don't think so, man.
Do you miss Brunson a little bit?
Yeah, we didn't want Brunson to go. I mean, I know me and King didn't want Brunson to go. We like Brunson, man. But
how y'all gonna keep Brunson and Dwight Powell, bro? Relax, bro. You can't have it all, bro.
There's Mark Cuban stands over there that support every move. So
they got Tim Hardaway Jr. They don't need nobody else.
Oh God.
Oh.
Hey, don't knock Tim Jr. He's been doing well for you guys.
I know.
He did a lot better with y'all than he did with us.
Don't mention his name. You don't get that man.
I about to say, don't tell that to the Mad fans, but it will kill you right now.
The most insignificant 16 points a game in the league.
Y'all sound like Boston fans where y'all are mad about KP not having a good game. Man, you know what? I'll save it for later. I'm just gonna mute myself. Y'all gonna make me go off.
Yeah, don't you can't mention Tim Hardaway around here, man. That's them fighting words.
He looks like the 6th man of the year candidate, and you're telling me not to mention without Luka.
Hold on,
Who else
Cowboy.
got
How
win
many?
without Luka against
Hold on,
us?
Cowboy. How many Mavs games have you been watching this year?
I watched about a good, I want to say 12 to 13. I can't really get
And
that
how
many
many?
games.
And how many games did they play this year?
I
50
watch.
something,
I watch.
50,
No, but what
50.
I'm saying is
I
the games I've
always catch
watched.
the premier games, like when they playing
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phoenix or Denver or somebody big. I always try to catch it.
I'm telling
yeah.
you, as a man who watches literally every
Okay.
minute of basketball, nah.
Nah?
This guy just gave us
Okay.
zeros the other day.
Cowboy Bob, I'm gonna put it this way. This is how inconsistent he is.
Yeah, please
Remember
tell
the
me, Dre.
game? Remember the game we were watching against them? He went
Yeah.
off and then he started to shoot shots off the side of the backboard for
Thank you.
absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
All
he
right.
is
All
a
right. I
maddening
tried
player.
Tim.
He's
Tim, I
not
tried.
someone that hold on. He's a maddening player. He's not someone you
He
bestow
gave
a
us
lot of
zeros a few games
responsibility
ago.
to. He's
Zeros.
not. He's not
If
that guy.
if he
I
is
tried Tim
he
Hardaway
is if
Jr.
Josh Hart was all offense, he would be Tim Hardaway Jr.
Wow.
If you removed all
He's the offensive
boundaries,
version
yeah.
of Josh Hart.
That hurt, yo. Oh, that hurt.
Jesus.
That really
I
hurt.
would say I like Josh Hart, but y'all know more about him than I do, man. But
Oh, you would piss you off. I'm sorry. He would piss you off.
I see.
No. Here's the thing: if
Here we go.
if you expect Josh Hart to be more than what he is, then he's gonna piss you off.
Basically, the way I look at Tim Hardaway Jr. to you, as a Dallas fan, is the same way most people look at Hart. They don't really think that he does that much, but he does enough to get us to win. I love Hart because Tibbs like.
Hey, just real quick before
See what I'm saying?
just real quick before my man go. Hey, Rel, man, y'all be doing great work, man. We appreciate the content that y'all be putting out on YouTube, man. The stuff be fire. I saw y'all stuff on playback and all of that stuff. Y'all making major moves, and I saw the dudes rocking hardcore Mavericks fans. Just want to say, draft wise, the Dallas Mavericks might be in the top 3 all time when it comes to draft day. They always seem to make the right move, even if it's something that you don't necessarily agree with all the time. But when you look at their history of Dale Ellis, Mark Aguirre, Dirk Nowitzki, Luka,
Jason Kidd,
Derek Lively, they always seem like they do the right thing. So if you're a fan of the NBA, I'm gonna try to get Rel and King and TGK and some others on the Check Ball podcast.
Just so I told you that before, man. You got to get everybody on there, man. We're gonna be on there debating.
Yeah, we got to get everyone so that we could talk hoops. But thank you for popping in, bro. And Marvel has got to do a Silver Surfer movie, bro, and stop playing.
I'm with you. But all right, fellas, I'll catch y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Most of all, you got to thank the Mavericks for probably their best draft pick, most value, getting Jalen Brunson in the 2nd round.
In the same draft as Luka.
Oh God, 2 Hall of Famers.
What
in the same draft,
let me hold my horses. But if Brunson is as advertised for the next 6, 7, 8 years, he's gonna make the Hall of Fame.
They drafted Jamal Mashburn too.
Matter of fact, he has 2 college rings. Debunk that. If he makes 4 or 5 All-Star games, he's gonna make the basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Look,
it's the basketball Hall of Fame.
It's
not the NBA.
Okay, now let's not count our eggs before
but
our chicken.
But you know what? We've all said this before, and it's wide known if you're a sports fan. The point guard in the NBA is the quarterback of the team, right? And there is a stat that if you're a sports fan, you kind of keep track of in your head, maybe, I don't know, but it's not in I guess it can be in a column, but it's winning. He's a winner. He knows how to win.
Right.
You know, he was state champion and stuff in high school. I'm sorry, that stuff matters. There's a certain mindset you have, and you just expect to win. Like, that's the first step in winning, period. You got to believe it before you achieve it, all that stuff. And he has done it at every level. And we're blessed. And I'm not going to, kumbaya, whatever, I guess. But we are, man. We're blessed. We got this gift because we got it, and we're in the middle of building something really big here, and I just hope the injury bug gets exterminated. We need to call Terminex up in this piece.
Yeah, man.
Get rid of that damn injury bug, bro. They worse than them New York City cockroaches.
All you gotta do is throw some testing on it. We'll be all right.
You open the dang cabinet, get you some peanut butter and a big old cockroach. Here you go.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Man.
hey. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was just gonna real quick talk about what's going on with our team thus far. I honestly think, because I remember Uncle was talking about with the team and how they've been playing well with the adjustments for Tibbs. Do you guys really think that Tibbs is a good coach, or he's just a situational coach? Because the more I'm starting to think about it, I support Tibbs. I value Tibbs. He plays for us. He's made this team better. I'm not giving him any knock. But to be honest with you, I think he's just a situational coach that just seems to be getting lucky. Because if you look at some of the developing players, some of them worked out. DiVincenzo, Precious, Randall, but some of them haven't. RJ, Quickly, Grimes, like.
Look, but see, here's why the only reason why I disagree. Every coach in the league is a situational coach. Okay, every coach has their system, what they're comfortable rocking with, and it's just like if they're a chef, right? I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this guy, Bill Parcells.
Yeah,
he had that famous interview when they're talking about he was wanting a little more power and picking the players who are on his team. He's like, if I'm going to cook the meal, I want to shop for the ingredients, So the thing is, when you're an NBA coach and you have, just like Phil Jackson, people call him the GOAT, but man, look who he had playing for him. I mean, he went from Jordan, Pippen and the crew to Shaq and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So like, but
bro, Toronto wanted him, right? In that same time frame. You know who Toronto had on the roster when Phil Jackson was a free agent?
E-Mac would have been doing the Pippen stuff. Carter would have been doing the Jordan stuff and the triangle, all that stuff.
And what's his name? Mo Peterson. Remember Mo Peterson? Remember Jerome Williams, Junkyard Dog?
Yeah. Mo Peterson from Michigan State.
Yeah.
Won a championship with St. Cleves.
So he wanted to run the triangle with those like, so he needs the right pieces to run that system. So Thibodeau, we haven't gotten what we hope we've gotten from him until he got the pieces he wanted. So these last 2 years, this is the first time he's starting to get the roster he needs to succeed.
Okay.
Because these are like all the guys on this team, except right now, probably Bojan. The rest of the roster, these are all Tibbs kind of guys.
Y'all got to stop crying for these guys that got drafted and it didn't work out, man. Like, for crying out loud. Not because you draft them doesn't mean that they're gonna spend their entire career in your uniform. Those guys that left, like how many times are we gonna go over that RJ Barrett was the number 3 draft pick?
Mm-hmm.
The number 3 draft pick. They expected, they didn't draft him, but they expected more out of the number 3 draft pick. Like what more is Tibbs supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, and think about this. What everyone talks about, the 2 guys drafted ahead of RJ. Okay, time's ticking. Yeah, individually they're pretty dang good. But what success have they had since they've been in the league?
Yeah, but you can't. You as an organization, you can't worry about that because you can't draft RJ and say, hey, I know you didn't like whatever, let's flip-flop. It doesn't work like that. You got to work with what you got. And they had him here for almost 5 years. Good, okay, just, did you see him taking you to the championship? No!
No, and that's the other thing. If you got a top 5 pick, your team is horrible. So there's no saviors coming through the door.
But they are though. Oh, through the draft, okay. Because I was gonna say, because this is the whole thing. The development is, to me, I've been saying it since day one I came on here. I don't think the Knicks have the proper development scheme, because if we did, we wouldn't be trading away our youth to get players who are already, some teams who already have development. Like, for example, look at Donte DiVincenzo. Look at Precious Achiuwa. Look at a guy that started all in Randall. Randall was a 3.5, maybe a 4 level scorer, but since he's been here, he's working on his 3 points to actually be a complete scorer in all 5.
Hold on, time out. The guys you're comparing. Hold on.
Okay.
Bob. The guys you're comparing, the younger guys to, are guys that were basically veterans that have been in the league 4 years or more.
But that's my point, because he can't develop players.
But those players were also given up on, just like allegedly we gave up on these guys. Like when those guys get to age 26, 27, 28, then you can have that discussion, right? In terms of their development. Did the Bucks not develop Donte DiVincenzo?
Yeah, before he got injured.
The thing is that the development, that's an overrated skill stat put on head coaches in the league, because head coaches don't develop crap. They have staffs and underlings that do that stuff for them. They just do. Like, head coaches don't have time to sit here and develop some rook coming up unless he's already inserted in the starting lineup because he's that good. I hope you guys don't think. I know some of you guys don't think this, but they're sitting here in the back room with the rookie, and some head coach is spending all this time developing them. No, that doesn't happen. There's a team of people behind the scenes that most of us don't even know their names. Those are the people that develop them, not the head coach.
But that's what I'm like. Johnny Bryant is literally the one that's on hand with the skill development. That's who Dame Lillard and Quickly and RJ and Donovan Mitchell point to.
I mean,
in terms of who helped them develop.
I'm a fat guy, so I talk in food. You know what I'm saying? So like you look at like as chefs, like I was talking about before with the Bill Parcells analogy. Like you go to these big 5-star fancy chefs, yeah, they get all the hoopla and but they got all these badass little sous chefs on the side, cutting things up and getting things ready, and they plate it all pretty and stuff. And here the head chef didn't even cook anything, because he's got all these people that are under him,
But though the head chef has to keep them in line. Like, he has to do something. This is why I'm asking. Like, I don't really think Tom Thibodeau is actually. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. You guys know how I feel about him. I'm talking about development. I only think that his flaws is he only goes immediately what's in front of him. What do I mean? The players that are being replaced played better than the starters. Example, Grimes. Grimes was a starter earlier this season, but Donte DiVincenzo replaced him, and he's better. You look at
Dante's also 5 years older than him.
But this is what I'm trying to say, Dre. No, you're right. But what I'm saying is every time Tibbs looks good, it's because he has some 3 or 4 year veteran that's been bounced around that comes to his team and knows they have a shot, whether it's because of injuries or because they're just hungry. So for me, I'm asking, is that really Tibbs' thing? Because if you're a good player and you know you're getting messed up and you know you're going to come to me, you know you're going to get minutes. Look at Donte. You just said it. The Bucks were developing him until he got injured. And then now Dante's like, look, I need my shot. I can go to New York.
Yeah, but Cowboy Bob, here's the thing. And this is what I think you always miss this point here, my guy.
Okay.
There's only 450 slots in the league. If you look at it by just pure numbers, and I'm not a numbers guy, Grimes had 2.5 years to have an impact to solidify that position. 2.5 years.
That's a lifetime.
That's a lifetime when there's only 450 slots and 200 of them are guards. And he's a late first round pick. You understand what I'm saying? Tibbs is not here to babysit him. Especially when you have young guys, and I said this the other day. The worst thing a young player could do is when things are not going right is to sulk.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you sulk as a young guy, the coach turns around and look at the veteran down and says, "Yo, get in there."
Mm-hmm.
Why? He ain't ready.
But that's my point though. Like the whole point is Tibbs is only good with players that have more experience than rookies. That's why I'm asking. I don't think the Knicks as a team were good with developing.
Wait a minute. What are
players
these rookies offering again?
No, God.
A ham sandwich with no tomatoes. Like
Exactly.
Ham sandwich with no bacon.
Here's the thing. Think about all the best players in the league right now. Like how many of them came out the gate like guaranteed they're going to be one of the best players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis he wasn't that when he came out.
People were saying
Jokic wasn't that the first day. They didn't sulk when they were just brewing for a year or two. And then all of a sudden they got their chance because they just put in the work. You know, Doncic, if you can redraft that draft, he was the number one pick. Who got picked ahead of Doncic? In that draft.
Right in front of him.
Bagley. Oh my God, that was a bad pick. Woo!
So
Bagley and Aiden.
And I said it at the time. That was a bad pick. Oh boy.
I mean, look where Jokic was picked. He was a second rounder.
44th.
Mm-hmm. And he was battling for his spot too.
So you got to think about exactly AD's point.
It's a meritocracy.
Some of these guys, now they're coming out earlier. Obviously, some of them can come in around 19, 20 years old. But don't think this is AAU with your daddy as the assistant coach where you're going to get in.
You're gonna have all day. You see what I'm saying? And another thing that we failed to look at is management are getting pieces that fit around their star players. Who fits best around their star players? DiVincenzo and OG fits better around Brunson and Randall.
Perfect. You said that, AD.
I'm gonna let him finish. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think he's done.
That's it.
He's done. Yeah. Perfect. You said that because what you just said is exactly what I'm talking about. The front office has made the adjustment to where Tibbs can actually still get credit for it. You just clearly said it. When they got rid of RJ, they got OG to replace it. They got Dante, all these players. So for me, what is Tibbs really doing? I'm a Tibbs supporter. I'm not knocking him. But to me, he doesn't develop young players. He has to have players that need some type of experience, but be young enough to play.
What do you mean?
Look, guys, I'm playing devil's
advocate. I got you.
I'm trying to get an understanding of it.
Hold on, Cowboy Bob. 80, I got you. We drafted those players not having Jalen Brunson in mind, thinking he was going to be this. We drafted those guys not thinking Julius Randle was going to be this. When we drafted a 6'2" late first round point guard, we didn't think about Jalen Brunson. When we drafted RJ Barrett, we didn't think about that. And now when you talk about Tibbs was trying to play them in a mold. Like Tibbs tried to make RJ a 3-and-D guy that fit around Brunson. He tried to make him that because
when we drafted RJ, we thought we were getting KD and friggin'
we thought that, coach. We thought that, coach. But But when you have new players and new information, it changes your timeline. Jalen Brunson becoming this All-NBA player changes your timeline. And when he came here, Tibbs was like, "Yo, you," and to a lesser extent, he did this with Randall when Randall became an All-NBA player. you need 3-and-D guys around your superstars. And he tried to make RJ a 3-and-D guy, and that simply wasn't his skill set. And to that point, if you're trying to win in the league, you need development also, but you also need players that fit. And no matter what we tried to do with RJ and his skill set, he would just never would be this particular player that fit seamlessly around Brunson and Randall. So you know what we did?
We
got him.
upgraded with a trade
We got him out of here for a guy that's bigger, stronger, faster,
and a veteran.
Better.
3-and-D guys and offensive rebounders. That's all we need.
Period. That was it.
Bro,
You know,
okay,
that's what I'm saying, Cowboy.
So what y'all are telling me is
Cowboy Bob, are you really you legit are asking about a guy that is 6 years out of high school?
Here we go.
You talking about rookies and kids?
No.
Quentin Grimes is 5 years out of high school, bro.
I'm simply trying to get an understanding because no, Dre, let's be real. Have I not come on here?
Emmanuel Quickley is 5 years out of high school, dog.
All I'm trying to say is
Obi Toppin will be 26.
Facts.
How long you gotta wait, bro?
Facts.
RJ Barrett.
I'm not saying that. All I'm simply saying is this. To me, Tibbs is a good coach if you give him the right. And everyone's going to say, oh, that's with any coach. No, it's not. All I'm trying to say is this. From day one I came on here, I don't think Tibbs is a good enough coach to develop players. And why I say he's a situational coach is because based on that situation.
But you didn't prove it. You said it.
Yeah.
But you didn't prove it.
But I'm asking these questions because
here's the
what
flaw.
it's based off of.
Prove it, Cabo. Here's your flaw. Prove it. Prove that Tom Thibodeau can't develop players.
I already did. I said with Grimes,
Dre,
with RJ.
Dre, hold on. Let him prove it. Prove it.
We went through the names. RJ, Grimes. What happened with what's his name? The guy that we traded for Hart. Dang, I can't believe I forgot his names. I've named some of these guys, and I've also named the guys that he's developed, and Randall turning him into a scorer.
All right.
Also, as
Who
well
was already a finished product when he got here?
Hold on. Let him prove it.
And Precious, this is what I'm saying. These are the things I'm trying to explain. There are players, RJ, Quickly, some of these guys that we've had drafted that he didn't develop. But when he gets players that have some seasoning under them and something to prove, he looks like this guy that is, Tibbs is the best thing. I don't think I want to know what
Coach. I'm with y'all. I think Cowboy Bob.
Cowboy Bob.
Didn't he develop?
Hold on one second,
I said to you the guys he didn't develop.
Yeah, but hold on.
No, hold on. AD, the guys that he was in charge of developing are not here. The guys that are developing within the system are veterans.
Don't develop players.
Yeah, but hold on, Cowboy Bob. Hold on.
Who was developed when they got here? That's what I'm curious of.
Why are y'all
Yes, for real.
Why are y'all drowning in quicksand? You know what he said is the point.
For real.
My man said his own self that Tibbs don't develop and then told y'all the players that Tibbs developed.
I said young players that we drafted,
bro.
He wants guys
young players that we drafted. What I said was the young players that we draft, I don't think Tibbs can train and develop. He needs some guys that's been around the league that he can develop. And Dre said, yes.
All right. Let's use Emmanuel Quickly for a second. Right? Out of all of the young players that came around under Tibbs over the last 3 years, nobody got carte blanche like Emmanuel Quickly.
And RJ started from day one.
Yeah, but RJ wasn't. But Tibbs wasn't here when RJ was from day one.
Tibbs got here his second season, bro.
Right, he got here his second season. But with Quickly in particular, Quickly goes from a good player program and so forth to
RJ ended because RJ first season was cut short. Remember this?
No, I know. I'm just narrowing on.
RJ played 82 games, and it was.
No. I know. No. You right. I'm just narrowing on Quickly, just to use Quickly with it. Nobody has gotten more play as a young guy than Quickly. Quickly rose to the point of almost getting Sixth Man of the Year. That's under Tom Thibodeau. Like, you sound crazy, Cowboy Bob.
And here's the thing: you can't develop something that isn't developable. Developable.
Kevin Knox
is out of the league right now. He's out of the league right now.
Before the guys that were drafted That's what the problem was.
Hold on,
if there's
Coach.
a guy that's not worth developing. What?
Cowboy Bob, you did an excellent job, bro. Cowboy Bob, you did an excellent job of stirring the conversation, bro. These dudes right now are so passionate about their point. They know you're wrong, and they still want to debate you on it.
Hey, look, I love this show.
Hammering home the point.
I love this show. Thank you, Unc. That's all I wanted to do. This is good content right here. That's all I wanted. Y'all know I'm a Knicks fan, and I love our coach.
The other thing I was trying to say was, who was already developed when they got here?
I actually want to say Dante, because Unc put me onto Dante and said, if you didn't know about this man before he got here, there's something you're missing. And there's other players too. If you look at OG, I'm going to say, I forget who told me about him, because we were talking about him when we made the trade. I think it was Soulfinger. Somebody was telling us about OG for years.
Away from his point, Coach. You asked him a question. You talking about Dante.
But my point is this: if Brunson, Randall, OG, DiVincenzo, if all these guys who they are right now with the Knicks were who they thought they were at the team, them teams would have got rid of them or let them go.
Good point.
I'm with you, Dre. Dre was trying to get in. Dre, he drug you into the quicksand, bro.
Oh man, I was gonna say like, bro, I could put premium gas in a 2018 Accord. It still ain't gonna be a Ferrari.
No, it's not.
What is premium gas?
Like, I don't care
how maintenance like a 2000. You can get it maintenance like a Ferrari, and guess what?
It's not a Ferrari.
It's still not a Ferrari.
I mean, look, here's another football reference. Who would you say is the best coach of all time? Football coach.
In football, I'm gonna say Bill Walsh.
Okay, I agree. He's up there. But a lot of people are throwing around the Belichick name.
Oh.
Okay.
I was gonna say
how can he develop players? This guy has been trading away picks and picking these low, making third, fourth round picks, household names, all this stuff. He's developed and this and that. But what has he won the last few years?
Nada.
Nothing.
You can say
the horses.
You can say the same thing about Pop in San Antonio. San Antonio developed a lot of players, because if you look at what happened between David Robinson and Tim Duncan, he developed that relationship to where Tim moved to the 4, and not Tim moved to the 4. David moved to the 4, and Tim started at the 5.
No.
My fault. Yeah, I got it backwards. I'm sorry. I got it backwards. Yeah. Thank you for the correction. But all I'm saying is there are coaches that develop and win championships like Pop. But then now they look at as, these guys aren't good because they're not winning championships. They're still good coaches.
You still need the players with the ceiling. The coaches helps reach the ceiling. If your ceiling
the
is
Knicks
capped,
have
you're
had
not gonna do that.
How many NBA championship level coaches have the Knicks had? 3?
You can say 3.
I think.
You mean as winning as a coach, or you mean,
bro?
That mean winning as a coach?
What did Pat Riley win with the Knicks?
He mentioned San Antonio, but he didn't mention the fact that San Antonio surrounded that one player with a bunch of veterans from other teams. Pop them developed and showed them how to. Steven Jackson never won a championship in Indiana.
San Antonio Spurs.
And I think Tibbs is doing the same thing with Brunson. To be honest with you, he's developing everything around Brunson right now to where we can win.
Hold on, I'm gonna say this, Bob.
That's the new blueprint.
But you have to do that.
Yeah, that's the new blueprint.
Remember, Jalen Brunson is 27. Jalen Brunson is not 22. He's not 23. He's not 24. He is 27. He is smack dab in the middle of his prime. The front office realizes, we have to do something to maximize whatever window this is right now. We ain't got time for 23-year-old RJ. We ain't got time for Grimes to figure it out. We ain't got time for IQ to grow 4 or 5 more inches to be a 3D player. No, we gonna get OG right now.
Right now, you just don't.
If
all of that contributes to us winning one championship in the next 3 years, it's worth it.
You said if on your side. What if Dre said if on his side?
True. Okay, to Coach's point, when he brought up, he said that the timeline. I mean, it shifted, and he's right. It shifted up because even you said it that the timeline of Brunson is anywhere from 3 to 4 years. All I'm saying is now, if the timeline has moved up because of Brunson, where is the development on the back end as far as we getting these guys we need? Because in the next 2 to 3 years, if we win a championship, everyone's gonna say, yeah, it's a good thing. But at the same time, to me, if we win that one championship, what
Brother,
happens
if you
after?
say if you win a
You cannot
championship,
do both. You
the
cannot
story-
do both.
so hold on,
Because
The
if you
story-
set it up,
the story ends
correctly,
right there. The
No,
story ends
no,
right
you
there. If
cannot.
you win
No, you
championship,
cannot do both, Cowboy Bob. No, you cannot.
what I'm trying to say
No.
is great. You know what I mean when I say you could win a championship
keep
within the
saying
next
if.
3 years, but if you look at how the
You keep
system
saying
is,
if worst case scenario. What if I say if best case scenario?
Yeah, you want to have it both ways.
Yeah, bro.
You cannot do both.
We gotta
When you're
relax,
going,
bro.
when you gotta relax. When you're going for a championship, if you really going for a championship, it's all hands on deck. One of the things that Toronto did when they won their championship, go back to Freezie in Toronto. At some point in time, they traded for what's the big that was in Memphis? Gasol. They had Gasol. They got what's the name from OKC?
Ibaka.
They just loaded up. You understand? They didn't have no room. They didn't have no room for no first round pick, late, whatever. Everybody on there was seasoned and ready to go. You are not worried about.
I agree with Cowboy Bob on this one. AD, I don't think you exactly accurate.
Hold on a second.
Because
Remember,
I just want to interject the fact that Fred VanVleet and Siakam and OG Anunoby had been developing.
Hold on, OG was hurt. OG got a ring, but OG wasn't a part of that. He wasn't a part of that.
Understand, but I'm only fact checking, bro. Remember, Pascal Siakam was a key cog.
That's fine.
So was Fred VanVleet in the final.
No, that's fine. But here's the part that you're missing with that. 2 parts. One, they were building everything. Hold on a second. I got you, but hold on a second.
On either side. I just wanted to throw the facts in.
Okay, now here's some more facts. They had Kawhi Leonard, and they were pushing everything to win this one opportunity with Kawhi. 1. 2, all of the young guys that you just mentioned, they're no longer there.
So
in Toronto, they're no longer there.
Neither is Kawhi. Neither is Gasol.
But do they give back the championship?
The older guys are not there either.
Yeah, but are they giving back? Is Toronto giving back the championship?
I guess. I guess not.
Okay.
Well, as soon as you say we win a championship, it's the story ends there. I don't care what happens after that.
I don't care.
You need to care because maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me being a passionate Knicks fan. Because
I mean, you want a dynasty? Cool. I understand the dynasty, but I'm starving, bro.
I'm not saying dynasty.
My ribs are touching, man.
I'm not saying dynasty.
We said this.
Go ahead, Coach.
I'm just saying we've been talking about this for the last 2-3 years here on this channel, I'm sure. And as Knicks fans, I'm tired of waiting. Yeah. I'm tired of things brewing. Right now, we can honestly, because of the age group of our guys, our best guys, technically our top 6 players right now, you know, I'm not counting Burks and Bojanovic, but like our top 6 desirable players, really 7, they're all beginning of their primes or right in the middle of it right now. Mm-hmm. So if we start winning, like conference finals every year winning, we got a solid 5-6 years of this if they all stay together.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. But see, Coach, that's what I'm worried about. I want to win because everybody's saying, oh, like you guys said, even I said it, if we win a championship, yada, 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 you guys don't care. For me, I think this team is good enough to start a legacy is what I'm trying to say. Based off of what we have and how these guys are all on page, and especially what it looks like it can set up, I think we can win multiple championships over the next.
Can we get to a conference final first?
Damn, I was trying to get to that point to show you how I think we can.
Coach, you ever been in a team where you've been trying to hold somebody back from fighting? That's what I feel like I'm trying to do to Dre right now. I'm trying to hold Dre back from going at Cowboy Bob neck, bro. No disrespect to Dre, right? Because I know Dre would go to this man neck over basketball theory.
But wait, hold
Right.
on, Dre. Didn't we have this discussion before where you and I both said that about LeBron James? You said that the fact that he went to the championship so many times is an impressive thing. That's all I want for our
Hey,
opinion.
Cowboy Bob, give me 120 seconds to talk to Dre, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Freezie.
All right. I just want to talk to Dre. Dre, thank you for letting me cut you off from not jumping on that man's throat, bro. I hope you didn't find that to be disrespectful. You know, I'm legit as a friend trying to save you from a nebulous thing of ifs and buts, right? My thing is okay. So point number one that I want to say to Dre is Dre, you've never seen 10, 20, and 21-year-olds on a team win an NBA championship.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
For one, that's point number one.
The closest is like OKC when KD and
right, and they got close and they didn't do it, right?
They
Because
didn't
they were
do it.
young,
Nope.
they wasn't ready. Right? All right. Point number two is whether you draft guys and develop them or go around the NBA and handpick the guys that you want that are being stifled on someone else's benches and bring them into your program and develop them, you're doing the same thing. You're developing NBA players, right? So when we say the thing, and I know my time is almost up, right? So when we say Tibbs doesn't develop, but you see him turn OG Anunoby into something better than maybe even what Shane Battier offered to a defense, right? You see Precious Achua. Precious Achua is 1 3-point shot away from almost being as good as OG Anunoby. Almost, right? Except from the jumbo wing perspective is what I'm saying. But then you also see the best you've ever seen out of Josh Hart, out of Dante DiVincenzo, out of Isaiah Hartenstein. And all these things are occurring under Tom Thibodeau's tutelage. So to say Tibbs don't develop when Randall is a 3-time All-Star under Tibbs, Brunson is an All-Star and maybe All NBA player under Tibbs, not his former place. You've seen the greatness of OG Anunoby, Precious Achua, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo. And Hartenstein. I'm sorry, Coach. I meant to say him first, and I forgot. Thank you. All under Tom Thibodeau, right? And to say that Tibbs don't develop because he doesn't develop in the way that we'd like to see him develop is saying and perpetuating a false narrative.
It's madness.
Yeah. It's more of like a thing where people want us to develop guys on our rookie contracts that we drafted. But if you look at it from a perspective of, guys went from point A to point B underneath his surveillance or underneath his watch. It has to be said. Like when we talk about Randall Freezie, Randall was not drafted to be what he is right now.
No, he was not.
He was not drafted to be one fraction of what he is right now as far as being an offensive hub or a weapon.
He was Charles Oakley coming out of college.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
He had a more modern
rebounder.
No. He could put the ball on the floor and create to a certain extent. Like he was in high school and in college, he was a bit of a playmaker. But when he got here in the league, his first 5 years, you never saw that. You just never saw it on a consistent basis whatsoever. And then when we got him here, we made him be an offensive hub where you could give it to him in a post and he would create something.
And that's why I agree, Coach. That's why I agree with you at that point. What Dre just said, I think I agree with y'all on that part of it. Like he wasn't brought here to be he was a certain thing, a grab and go rebounder, but he was not the Randall dribbling. Y'all remember Randall crossing up Nas Reed? Remember Randall ISO Nas Reed and almost made that man fell down with his handles? Yeah. Randall wasn't that at Kentucky or with the Lakers, or he developed that as a Knick.
And actually, he started to be that at New Orleans.
And I was trying to look.
But if you would have stayed there, he would have been like let's be real. His three
You'd have been
all-stars,
Jaleel Okafor, bro.
his three all-stars that he got Freezie. I'm gonna be real with you. He might have been three different kind of versions of himself for each different all-star appearance.
Yes.
The first one he was shooting 40% from three, taking step back threes, difficult shots. Then the next one he was an offensive hub in the pinch post.
Yeah.
Like destroying teams with passes, and then now he's destroying teams 10 to 13 feet away. Yeah, like he's destroying teams 10 to 13 feet away, less 3-pointers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And passing out the post. Like he's
you know why
different types of all-stars.
Because Tom Thibodeau developed a shooting guard that was a journeyman that took all those threes that Randall was taking. Now Randall is free to be the weak side cutter. And Randall catching the ball on the run. That's what we wanted. That's what we always wanted, probably.
That's what we thought we were going to get.
Yeah.
And I want to give credit to Wave Space for taking the words out of my mouth. I was about to say it till these guys were saying their points earlier.
Oh, right. True.
Mitchell Robinson, too. He turned Robinson into...
Mitchell Robinson couldn't...
turn into being before he got hurt.
Mitchell Robinson couldn't string along 3 words together, and now he's like the back line of the defense calling out everything. Essentially, when he's healthy by himself, like he's when you go to the games and you see him there, he's literally pointing out, playing air traffic controller on the defensive end, especially when we had RJ and like a lot of mediocre defenders on the perimeter. Now with OG and Dante and Josh Hart on the playing perimeter.
Besides
defense,
the fact that they're both 7-footers and have a lot of God-given ability, besides that obvious part.
Yeah.
What makes iHeart and Mitchell Robinson both top 10 in the league in offensive rebound percentage? Is that a scheme and they're put in the best position for them and their skill set to succeed? Or is it just because,
it's a scheme.
There's some development to that.
There's development and scheme.
Well, development scheme and as well as they have a natural energy. They got both of those guys have the natural battery in their back.
That motor.
That they both have that motor. So
Tibbs couldn't make DeAndre Ayton play like that.
And imagine those two motors are on the court in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I just want to thank Cowboy Bob for always coming to the conversation with quicksand, bro. And y'all just dive head first into it. Y'all just dive, and I'm like, Coach, don't do it. And Coach is like, nah, man.
Yeah, he's like,
he laid out a trap with vinegar in it, and we just
Yo, Cowboy Bob, how long have you been a Knicks fan?
I've been a Knicks fan all my life. Like, I got birthed into it, and my dad used to make me watch Knicks.
Like 35
And this
years.
is why I hate Jordan. So I'm a big Ewing fan. I've been watching since the 89, 90. That's when I started watching. As a matter of fact, my uncle used to coach in Kips Bay. So if you guys know about the Bronx area, my uncle David used to do a lot of that training out there, and he also did Skip to My Loop. So I've been around a lot of good players, and I've been a fan of basketball since the 90s. So yeah.
Hey, is your uncle last name Jackson?
I gotta check because I don't think I have an uncle named Jackson, but I gotta check.
That's my cousin, bro.
For real?
Yeah, David Jackson. That's my cousin from the Bronx.
Okay, I'll check him out. But yeah. But like I said, I've been a Knicks fan since the 90s, AD. And like all I was really doing, when I have doubts, I ask questions and I throw that quicksand out. That's all.
No, I asked because your question does not seem like you're starving for a championship.
I don't want one. I want to do a LeBron James when I bring in one.
Man, I
want at least 3.
Hey, look, man, I'll die.
Why can't you just get one? Why can't you just get one?
You know why? Because one, to me, this team and this organization is long overdue than more than just one. I know it's impossible and I know it's hard to win just one, but damn it, it's been over 50 years. Why can't we win back-to-back for once? Why can't we at least be like Houston was when they had...
Hey, Cowboy Bob, in order for you to win back-to-back, you have to do what?
You gotta win one. You
gotta hold on, Cowboy Bob. You gotta remember, there's 29 other teams trying to do it, and there's been a different champion the last 6 years. So,
Cowboy Bob,
before you're a player in a real G, You got to start off a virgin.
Exactly. Cowboy Bob, I want you to take a look, right, of when Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boys won that first championship. Right?
Yeah.
Take a look at how Isaiah is caressing the championship trophy in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
They're not thinking about next year.
Hey, do you know what song he was playing? Do you know what song they played?
He was singing.
Heaven must be like
this. Like, come on, Cowboy Bob. Come on.
You can talk that next year stuff when you got like a Patrick Mahomes on your team. You can talk that. You can talk that. Oh, next year we're gonna be right back. You can talk like that.
What? You can talk that talk if you had won a championship 13 years ago. You could be like, you know what? I don't want to just win one. I want to win 2 or 3 of them. Right?
Okay. That's how the Spurs feel about Wemby. Where it's like, okay, we got our generational talent. We need to get 3 or 4 out of this kid.
Yeah, but they noticed they didn't even go get a point guard this year. They didn't even start a point guard till lately.
Yeah.
They see the big picture, bro. Right? But
we got to put a lot on his shoulders right now because it's going to pay off in the long run.
With us, we can't take the eagle-eyed approach, bro. We got to be laser focused in our view. Right? We can't soar up in the 30,000 feet in the air and look down and have the eagle-eyed approach, bro. We got to look at everything, bro. We got to be laser focused, like in this moment right here. We got to focus. This moment might be it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it's like Jets fans, bro. Right? Jets fans.
You ain't gotta.
I mean, why must you consistently do this, Freezie?
It's so easy, bro. It's so easy.
Once he said it, though, I understood his point. Once he said, like, Jets fans, I'm like, oh, now it makes sense.
But the thing is about New York and all the sports except this one is there's a second team. So you got kind of 2 chances to bring championship home, you know? I mean, now we got Brooklyn. We got to win one before them.
Do we, coach? Do we?
Ah, God.
Do we?
You know how scared I was when
they just moved to Jersey for convenience. Bro, that team was their charter states New York on it. They played at the Meadowlands for the sake of because there was an arena over there.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, I put it this way. You want to talk about like, oh, we need to win more. You couldn't tell a Ranger fan that 94 Rangers team wasn't a dynasty just off of 1 ring. Mark Messier's still out here, still outside of that 1 ring.
You're right.
And Mark Messier won multiple with the Oilers, but once he got here, 1 ring here means way more than any other ring anywhere.
Anthony Rizzo is still stealing checks off the Cubs World Series, bro.
Yeah.
Chris Bryant, they still stealing checks, bro, off that Cubs championship. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I bet you Derek Brooks doesn't have to buy a beer for the rest of his life, bro.
And he shouldn't.
Right.
Because if you remember what some of these teams were, like a Tampa. You remember what Tampa was in the 70s?
Oh God.
And the 80s.
In the 80s,
Horace Copeland, Eric Red.
I think the Jets beat them one time 62-19 or something like that.
Yeah. And they probably scored 19 in the 4th quarter.
Like you can't tell Tampa Bay fans like their championships ain't gonna last forever. Like, no.
Look, I went through this because as you can see on my I was a Bucks fan, so I felt like,
can we change that?
If you would have asked me when I first moved to Florida in 1988, 89, I was in 7th, 8th grade. If you would have told me that the Tampa Bay Bucks were going to win a championship before the Knicks won one, I would have said, you're out your mind.
Right. Yeah.
Not only have they won, they've won 2.
They were that bad. You remember when Parcells, the owner was Hugh Culverhouse.
Yep.
Parcells agrees to take the job. Parcells gets on a plane, lands wherever, turns around, tells them no. 24 hours later, he goes back to say, I thought about it. I think I'll take the job again. They then say, no, thank you.
You know it's bad when a player's like, don't even draft me. I ain't coming.
Yeah.
The Bo Jackson.
They drafted Vinny Testaverde.
And didn't know he was colorblind.
Oh, my God.
How you draft a quarterback and not know that he's colorblind?
No wonder he threw all them damn picks.
I know,
But
that's what they used
wait,
to say.
he came back and won most improved. Remember, he got benched and then started and won most improved. So Vinny Testaverde.
Shout out to everybody too with colorblind.
He must have played a bunch of teams that didn't have the color he wasn't blind to that year.
Oh my!
Let me tell you something. If Vinny Testaverde was playing today, if that had been today, he'd have never got as many chances as he did to write his career.
Nah.
Nope.
He'd have never got that.
All right, since we're talking about this kind of stuff, droughts, let's look at. There's 4 teams currently longer droughts than the Knicks right now. Let's see if you guys can name them.
Charlotte,
the Suns.
No.
Jets.
Yep. The Suns. No. NBA team.
Oh, you mean NBA team?
Yeah.
Oh,
we know
NBA
that.
team. Okay.
Timberwolves. Atlanta.
Yep. The Atlanta.
So Timberwolves, no.
No.
No, they hadn't been around long enough.
Yeah, they haven't been around long enough.
Clippers.
Yeah.
Clippers, yep.
Sacramento.
And the longest of them all, yep. Sacramento. That's the fourth one.
And just FYI too, Coach. Did we name all 4?
Yeah.
We did.
Okay. So FYI, just for people don't know this, but the Clippers actually have championships, right? And what happened was the Boston Celtics and the Clippers exchanged ownership.
Yeah.
And so the Clippers took their championships, though they don't claim them, right? You know, the record book says Boston Celtics, but those actually belong to the Clippers ownership team at the time.
That's a damn shame, yo. You give up your championships. Oh my God.
Yeah, because they changed ownership. Yeah, they changed ownership.
Yeah, but how do you give up your rings?
I don't know.
Now in the rafters they got pictures of the players instead of banners.
Mm-hmm. But the 3 that are right below us, the Jazz, the Nets, the Pacers, they came from the ABA. Yeah. They're the only ones that are like long tenured teams that are waiting just as long as us right now.
The Nuggets scratched themselves off that list last year.
Yeah.
Nuggets were a long tenured team without
where do
Jazz is not going to get it unless they get a Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and it has to be a European that doesn't care about where they play.
Sacramento had a
nice
run for a little bit, but they just Shaq and Kobe, and there's some teams there when their heyday.
I mean, but we know the league caters to the Lakers. It is what it is at that point. So
look, when one guy can hit a shot out of the whole damn team, you cannot blame the league.
Yeah.
That was Bibby, and no one else could hit a shot in Game 7 for Sacramento. Period. End of story.
Yeah, no.
Period. End of story.
Those calls in that quarter was egregious. I'm sorry.
Can you tell me what Stojakovic shot in that fourth quarter?
Maybe he would have got a rhythm if they called fouls on him to get free throws.
Can you tell me what C. Webb shot in that fourth quarter?
Yeah.
So
their big guys were atrocious. Let me tell you how bad. I'm sorry, Coach. Let me tell you how bad it was. I was driving with my mom's that night, right? And my mom's is not a sports outside of the Knicks. She knows nothing about no sports. And she says, "Who is this Bibby guy?" Every shot, it was Bibby.
Right.
Yep.
But Bibby was that dude, though. I'm sorry at the time.
He not with us, though.
Yeah.
Not with us.
Oh, nah. He was like breaking down because he was off the
should have stayed with Big Country on the Grizzlies.
He was off the roids.
Yeah. Like he was
breaking down off of them roids when he got here.
Yeah,
Doug Christie.
He's a legacy. Remember, his pops played here. His pops was on Henry Bibby. Is on 73. He's on the 73 team.
Henry Bibby, ex NBA coach, point guard.
Yeah,
he played too.
That came out of nowhere. Good one.
So
yeah,
what we're getting at is the same thing we were complaining about a year and a half, 2 years ago about this team. Us OGs, old heads. I'm done waiting for things to develop. The time is now.
For no
Coach, you saying you double parked?
Huh?
You double parked?
I'm triple parked, bro.
He double parked at the venue, looking at the window at his car,
trying to get down the street where there's a double parked car. I'm in the sanitation truck. Coming down.
Coach, you got the street blocked. Coach got the street blocked.
Matt.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look, Bob. I understand your point.
I got in trouble in the force down in the precinct. They got me on traffic duty.
Oh,
wow. Bob, I get your
point. I got
point.
the vest on.
Bob, I get your point in terms of we want to have extended winning or multiple. We win one. I'm gonna talk about it like we won 8. So I'm gonna just let you know.
But Drake,
I'm gonna let you know.
I just want to say this. The reason why I say I believe we deserve multiples is because through the years we've tried to make strides. We tried with Ewing. We've tried with we've made moves in stride, and I think that it's just overdue. I'm just saying for a while, I just want us to have something to where when we win the next championship, whether it's this season or next season, we have something to back it up, like with another championship. Because if you look at, like you just said, the last 6 years, there's been a different championship. Nobody even really remembers even anything like that. They remember the consistency.
Their fan bases remember it though. Their fan bases remember it. That's all that matters. And we are
fan bases don't care about the man. Come on, Cowboy Bob.
I don't care about the Denver Nuggets.
Cowboy Bob keep putting quicksand. Yo, that's an awesome magic trick, Cowboy Bob got, bro. You gonna be?
They call me the fan man.
Cowboy Bob is an excellent moderator, bro. He throw out these topics and then y'all just jump face first into the quicksand. We deserve 4 championships.
But I'm saying deserve. There's no such thing as my fault, coach. But I'm gonna say this one thing. There's no such thing as deserve. There's no such thing as fair in professional sports.
Yeah,
you get it done or you don't get it done. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about the last. But obviously Denver just won, so that's to be determined still. The last champion that was not Golden State, Toronto, or a team LeBron was on were what 2 teams? Milwaukee? No, Milwaukee and Toronto. I'm not going that far back.
Okay.
But yeah, Dallas, but what I'm saying is Milwaukee just won 2 years ago, and we already are. Would you say our expectations right now, if we're all healthy, are you really worried about Milwaukee? Are we sleeping on them?
No. I think right now we could beat Milwaukee. I know what you mean with health and everything, but I'm saying
if you would have asked the Milwaukee fans and Giannis, how they were looking after that season, in their eyes, they're probably like, "Oh yeah, Chris Middleton still got time," and Drew Holiday, and even Brook Lopez, he still can play. They probably thought they were going to have more chances to win. I mean, the Raptors did the one and done thing with Kawhi, but
there's too many variables after you win the championship, coach. You know what I mean? You can get hurt.
Exactly.
Cats say they want a back-to-back. When Pat Riley said, and I guarantee we're going to be here again next year, there's no team that had won back-to-back since the Celtics at 25 years prior. Teams didn't look at winning back-to-back. They just didn't. The Lakers were pissed off at Riley when he said that.
But Sir AD, the reason why I want a back-to-back is because those are more remembered than us just winning one championship.
I guarantee you, Ribby. I guarantee you, Ribby. When the Knicks win the championship,
that's Cowboy Bob.
I'm sorry, Cowboy Bob. Well, I guarantee you, when the Knicks win the championship, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna ask you, and you're gonna be like, "What? Who?" You're gonna
Oh
be
no, I
so
have my notes.
you're gonna be so drunk on this championship. You're not gonna want to talk about anything else. You're not gonna want to talk about the '90s Knicks. You're not gonna want to talk about nothing else.
Nope, I disagree with you because you know why? I'm going to tell you, AD. No, I've been preparing for this for a while, and a lot of people said that to me, and I thought about it. I said, to be honest with you, this first championship has nothing to do with how I feel the organization. I think it's overdue. But to win the secondary championship and actually show, because to me, where I grew up, back to back was the key. Houston, Bulls, like all those teams were the strong, and I think we can do that. So for me, my mentality is still stuck there. So even if we win one championship, to me, it'll be, yay, we're good. But to me, from my mentality, from years of me being raised as a Knicks fan, if we went back to back, I don't care about the first one. I want a second one because once we do that, those are more remembered than anybody else. The Houston Rockets, everyone
You want to
remembers
be
them with
so
their back to back.
solidified by public opinion. I don't care about public
Exactly. You want to be
No, it's
solidified
not
about
public
everybody
opinion. It's
outside of the
me.
organization.
No, it's not public opinion. If you notice, every team, even look at Jordan's whole mentality. Jordan was like, when he won the first championship, he was like, oh, this is dope. Went to the second one and was like, wait, Bird and them didn't win 3 in a row like I did. And he did that. That's what I'm saying. I want to keep that mentality because nowadays people are just satisfied with just one chip. I think
You don't have, but you don't have the players you are talking about are on Mount Rushmore forever. You understand? None of these guys who are winning championships in the last whatever are necessarily those guys outside of LeBron.
Wait. So you mean to tell me that there are no superstars that have the capability to win back-to-back outside of LeBron?
Outside of LeBron, who else did it? In this realm here, who else did it?
Steph.
Okay.
Yes.
And they need
Steph
both
and
of them.
KD.
And they needed to do what? Bring in an equal superstar to win.
But they won before, and that one.
But they didn't go back to back.
I'm gonna avoid.
And they lost to
quicksand
LeBron.
I'm gonna avoid.
The best team ever had the most wins ever lost to LeBron.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't expect to win it all the time. And plus, on top of that, the year before that, no one expected them to win.
You can't
and
expect
that's the
it,
year
but that's
that
what
Steph
you
won
want.
MVP.
You can't expect it, but that's what you want.
You don't have those players.
But what I'm saying is, we do have the players in Randall, Brunson. I think we have this team.
Is Randall and Brunson equal to LeBron and Kyrie?
No.
Mad?
No. The same way that everybody, when you just said the Golden State Warriors, same way everybody looked at Steph and Clay early in the career. Oh, Steph's too small. Steph can't do this. Clay doesn't show up in the big moments. Doesn't that sound like the same stuff they say
They
about
didn't
Randall
go back to back until they got two
I'm not saying they're the
MVPs.
same skill set of players. I'm just
They
saying
didn't go back to back until they got 2 MVPs, brother. You can't make that a false equivalence.
Dre, all I'm saying is we've heard the noise before about players being too small or whatever, but they've actually had the chance to prove themselves. We give them the benefit of the doubt now after they prove themselves. Why can't we look at this team when healthy that we're not a back-to-back championship win? Look at Randall. Look at Brunson.
Because there are so many. Hold on, there are so many variables that go into going back to back. On top of not even just talking about the talent aspect. They had 2 MVP. They needed 2 MVPs to go back to back. Unless you think Randall and Brunson are MVPs, okay.
No.
Okay.
I see what you mean when you said 2 MVPs in Hakeem and Clyde.
No,
when I was
I'm talking about
Golden State.
KD.
Oh, Golden State, my fault. I thought you were comparing it with the back to back. Okay, I went too far back. But
KD
Golden State,
and Curry, like
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
There were
with
2
that
MVPs
too.
in their prime.
Steph
this is the thing,
has been blessed with who's been around him too. Okay, Steph alone is not enough. Because here's the reason why. Remember 2019-20 season?
Look at 2021.
Clay was hurt, and KD and all that stuff, and they were a 15 and 50 team.
He was hurt too. Like,
and they tanked for Wiseman.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you there that
it's not easy. It's not easy. That mileage adds up. Like you talking about making one playoff run. One playoff run could legitimately end someone's career.
You already loving your second kid before you got your first. That's madness.
No, it's not. It's
Now,
setting up.
when you got your first fine girlfriend, were you already thinking about your second fine one after you just got
No.
the first?
I was thinking, what we gonna do down the road? Because no. I got me my fine girl, but then how do I keep that relationship? See, that's the problem. Y'all just happy y'all got the girl. Like, oh, we got the girl, we happy. Now I gotta look like I gotta keep her, and I gotta think towards the future of how is this gonna work. That's how I think, Dre. I don't just get happy like, hey, I got the hot chick, I'm happy. Nah, dog, there's things I gotta do to keep her, or I gotta keep it moving.
Well, you're gonna have to get a side chick.
Okay. But I'm just saying, for me, just winning it isn't enough, man. Like, that's the mentality that I miss from basketball. Because I remember, like I said, guys from the 90s, they thought that their legacy was solidified if they won back-to-back championships.
But that's the players. We're not the players. We're the fans, bro.
And that's what I want. What's wrong with us winning back-to-back? You don't think that this team can win back-to-back?
You know when Freezie talked about earlier, like what things need to transpire for a team to make it to the next level. When we started talking about the Knicks, are we one piece away? Sometimes it comes down to the chips falling with the other teams too.
You need luck, man.
If I'm sorry, the Miami Heat made it to the NBA Finals last year.
The Bucks matched up way better than with the Nuggets than the Heat would.
A team, mind you, and anyone here that says that's not the truth, I'm sorry, you don't know basketball. Julius Randle is 100% healthy. We beat the Heat in that series. I'm sorry. Like, it was just looking that way to me.
There it goes. That's exactly what I was going to say. Justo11, thank you for your generous contribution. Cowboy, don't forget the luck and health you need to repeat. Back-to-back teams usually run over the league in the regular season. Good point. I see what he's saying. That's a good point, Justo.
But like right now, yeah, the luck and health part. Like, look who's been the perennial Eastern Conference favorite for
Boston,
probably the last 3 years.
Boston and the Sixers, and every now and then the Bucks. Because 3 years ago, the
Bucks
won a
championship. It's just been the Bucks and the Sixers.
Yeah,
I mean the Bucks and the Celtics.
How many times did the Celtics make the finals in the last during that time?
Once, but they met conference finals a bunch of times. But like,
I
listen
thought they
to
went
that.
to the finals twice, though.
No, once. And to that point, Coach, that's 100+ games every year. 100+ games every year.
And here's the thing about them: they haven't been hurt by injuries, and they still didn't do it. That's how hard it is.
Well, they lost Tatum last year. I mean, they did lose Tatum.
And that Game 7, but it should have never even went to a Game 7.
Yeah.
I see what you guys are saying. Y'all are saying, hey, we just started the ball game on the first pitch. Don't try to knock it out the park. We still got 9 other innings. I see what you're saying.
Well, really, it's just like, yeah, I want to win. Let's do everything humanly possible to get this one, and then we'll figure things out in the offseason moving forward. But we got to do, because each season's it's a whole new sport. It's a whole new game every year.
Let me tell you, the Knicks win the championship. Let me tell you something, Coach. The Knicks win the championship. I mean, retire from sports watching.
You crazy, man. I'm gonna be up there saying no.
I'm gonna help you out. That may be it for me.
The Knicks win a championship. I will hold on.
Because I've been waiting my whole life. Okay, I've got way too many battle scars to talk about. I still watch '94 as if it's going to change. As if Game 7 is going to change.
I watched that. I watched that the other day.
Okay? I'm watching it and yelling at the TV as if it's going to change.
But AD, we win a championship. We hit the fountain of youth, brother. We need guys like you to remind us.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna revel in it, and that'll be that. That may be it.
The Knicks win a championship. The Knicks win a championship. I will immediately turn into a casual fan.
No. Listen to me, guys. I gotta listen to me. the stuff that we all have as far as our history with the Knicks, y'all can't just throw it away after we win a championship. We need you guys. For example, AD, there's things about the Knicks I don't know, but hearing you, Uncle Freezie, and Coach, and even Dre talk about it, I don't even realize it until y'all bring it up. Y'all can't quit after we win a championship.
You better save these YouTube streams. I'm telling you right now.
Come on,
the Knicks win the championship. That may be it.
I'm gonna act like I don't know y'all.
Fantasy fulfilled.
And I'm not trying to say this because the old hats have look. Freezie's a little bit longer in the tooth than me, so he actually was alive. Like I turn 49 next month. Like I was born, and then the Knicks still haven't won.
Yeah.
I'm 49 years old.
Like my credit to fame is I was technically alive when they won it in '73. So technically, I've seen the championship. Nah, I'm good now. They win the next championship. They win the next championship in my lifetime. I may be good. Okay, I may be good.
That they win a championship, it might be good enough to make up for the fact the Jets didn't win anything. Like that's how good I'll be.
Yes.
Wow.
It will proliferate through my entire life. Okay? Those who did me wrong, I may forgive you just because the Knicks won a championship.
And this is why we can never win back-to-back, guys.
If Aaron Rodgers played this year, look, if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt, because I don't care what people say, I'm not a Jets fan. I'm realistic. I'm a football guy. The Jets had a little buzz about them. Okay, when Aaron Rodgers was still healthy, like they would have had a whole different season with him there.
That Jets won 7 games with me throwing. Win 7 games with me throwing the ball. Like they won 7 games with absolute trash throwing the ball this year.
Right. Like so, if the Jets all of a sudden started winning this year with Rodgers and he didn't get hurt, they would have probably might have made a move or two because all of a sudden the timetable is fast forwarded because Aaron Rodgers isn't getting younger. So
he's not getting any younger. But to be honest, and you're a Jet fan, Dre, so you know.
Yep.
It was what happened to Rodgers was in the forefront of our minds because we knew the offensive line sucked.
Yeah.
Right? And immediately was like, okay, you guys are the ones who are getting all the money in the world for something that we saw and we were trying not to realize it. Am I lying?
We were trying to like tune it out. Like it was.
We were trying to tune it out.
80. It was like the yellow check engine light on your car, but you act like you ain't see it.
Yes, you're acting like you can't see it just because you may get to your destination. That is exactly the perfect analogy.
You see how long you can ride when the gas light comes on? Let's see if I can stretch it out one more.
I remember those days.
And then you don't make it, and about 4 or 5 sensors blow out in your car, and you don't even know how.
Mm-hmm. You ain't got AAA or roadside assistance. So you run out of gas. You got to walk.
Yeah, that's we were not trying to pay attention to it, but now we have a whole off season to address these issues that they should have addressed in the first place. So
because you do not buy a Ferrari and put in 90 and put in 87 gas. You just don't.
I keep telling you, I don't think we are Ferrari. I think we are El Camino or a Chrysler 300.
A Chrysler? Oh God, no!
Yeah.
At least let us be a damn Ford F-150, a Raptor.
No, okay, but wait, hold on. Y'all just said we need no. I'm confused.
I'm talking about the Knicks. You talking about the Knicks, right?
Yeah, we talking about the Knicks, but y'all were talking about championships and all of that. For us to be in that type of tier with the luxury and interior, we would have needed a championship to upgrade. All I'm saying is what we can afford is a nice El Camino or a nice Chrysler 300 because
if
we
I
haven't made it past the second round in a long time in the playoffs.
If I had to compare the Knicks roster right now to a vehicle, it would probably be a 4-door pickup, rugged and with utility at this current juncture. Rugged with utility.
With a gun rack on top of a gun rack. I got you.
Not a Camino that might fall apart.
Whoa,
I hope it's not a Camino.
Don't talk about the Caminos like that, because
No,
Caminos,
it's a lovely car, but it's also a very old car.
If you tune them correctly, they will beat any car on the track. They are the top 3. Yeah, they are. Look at any track.
We're a muscle car team. We're a Corvette.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We're like a Corvette. And the funny thing is, a El Camino is a Corvette, which you can take a Corvette engine where you look at like how Randall is and buckle it up and put that engine into a Chevy with Brunson. Because Brunson's fast and quick. Like, this is what I'm saying, what we look like. We look strong and fast. Oh, just a 1-1. Thank you for your generous contribution. The Bulls a 2006 Chrysler with 300K miles. We are 2024 F-150. Okay.
I can't compare us to a sports car, AD, because like the way we're built in terms of just being a rugged physical team that plays defense, but also can shoot the lights out when need be, and we have skill. I think we're like an all-purpose utility. Like a pickup truck, to be absolutely honest.
And what do you think El Camino is, bro? It's a
but they haven't made new El Camino since what the 80s?
But see, Dre, look at how we play. Wait, hold on. But see, listen to why I say El Camino. We play defense. We play an old school style basketball still with this league. We just
started romanticizing that one particular car. That's what I think you're doing.
But we just started implementing our 3-point system with the players we've got this season. This is what I'm talking about. We can keep up with these guys with just an older model car that's been upgraded with a power engine and Randall.
There's no old model in this. Most of our players are in that age range of 26 to 28, that 29 in that range. This is not no old model. Like
so we have F-150 with a Caterpillar engine.
The way we play is within the parameters of modern NBA basketball. We just have ruggedness to our game in terms of that we're stronger, more powerful than most teams and battle on the glass. But in terms of the parameter of what, like our shot diet and the shots we take layups and threes. That's what we do. We take layups and threes. It just might look a little different because Brunson is throwing up floaters instead of dunking on people. But if you talk about the shot diet, our shot diet is layups and threes. And short shots in the paint. And that fits within the parameter of a modern NBA game.
But that's not the modern NBA. The modern NBA is the long ball. Because if you look at most
no. The modern NBA game is layups and threes, period. It's layups and threes, not long 2-pointers.
Okay. That I can agree with you on that because you're right. It's either downhill or it's the long ball. You can look at Jalen Green, or most of the other players. Most people don't even use the mid range anymore.
Your superstar has the free, like the leeway to take the mid range shot, but everyone else on your team is in the paint or shooting threes. That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, fellas, I gotta run. It's a great ride with y'all, man. All right.
Have a good morning.
All right, brothers.
People bring their dogs out to eat with them, not necessarily inside.
Yo.
Quiet. Nah, you been quiet. I thought you were in the background.
No, I'm straight. I'm geeking out right now, looking at the average age of NBA teams right now.
Oh yeah, if you look at the Bucks' average age,
they're like what, 35?
No, not that old, but they're old.
I mean, yeah, there's some old.
I think the Bucks are like one of the oldest, if not the oldest team.
But you got to look at the ones that are, because some of them are old, like when we had Fournier and all that. But we got, because we added Burks and Bojanovic, technically we got a little older. But if you're looking at
the main core,
who are technically are 7 future players we want to keep on the team. Okay, you're talking Brunson, DiVincenzo, OG, Randall, Mitch, Ihart, Precious Achua. You know, all those guys are under 30.
They're in that 25 to 29 range.
Yeah. And that's I mean,
prime. They're prime.
yeah,
They're
like
physical prime.
we have 7 guys that are literally, if we keep them all together, a 7-man core that are all on the same timeline. Like our 7, like not counting Bergson Boyanovich, our 7 top keepers, are young. I mean, that's considered kind of young. I mean, Mitch and I are 25. Achua's 25, isn't he? 24, I think.
Yeah, I think he's 25. No, I think
Randall's
he's
the
26.
oldest. He's 29. Brunson and Dante are 27. Josh Hart's 27. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. I see a lot of guys playing pretty well at 32 right now, 33. Some guys are still playing pretty good. So we have guys that still got another good 5-6 years. So we can be successful now and still develop and get even better. Because we are doing that.
I think we're in this pocket of we have 4 to 5 years of competing at a high level, but like just getting one in that 4 to 5 years is very hard. So we talking about winning 2, trying to win 2 or 3. It doesn't happen that often. It just doesn't.
29 other teams trying really hard right now.
I understand that, but Dre, looking for how long I've been looking, and everyone saying, "Oh, we're deserving of it now." This team is the best team I think we have at actually winning multiple.
Everybody's not saying we did, bro. You got to stop saying that. Everybody's not saying that. Dre, I'm not saying it, and Dre legit. Before you just said that, Dre said something different.
Yeah, I didn't say I wouldn't want to win multiple championships. I'm saying, can we just win one?
No, I agree with you. That's okay. Then I said that wrong. All I'm saying is for me, I think this team, what we have, is set up to win that one championship, like you said, but we can win more. That's all I'm saying.
I'll put it this way: we're set up to compete at the highest level for a little bit of time. Now,
okay,
championship or not, we're set up to be in conference finals.
Okay.
And then if you get to the final 4 teams, then it's a toss up at that point.
I can agree.
That's what you asked, but that's what you asked for. Like the Celtics would even if the Celtics weren't guaranteed a championship, they would love to have another run at going to the conference finals 4, 5, 6 times without blinking. They would take that without blinking because they know getting that far means you're very close to a championship. And after that, it's not. I wouldn't say necessarily it's a luck of the draw, but some of it is luck of the draw in terms of health, in terms of matchups, who you match up against. Like a lot of it, some of that does matter. But like talking about like around the league and how the East is shaping up. If you look at the Bucks are old as dirt right now. Bucks have 2 players that are 30. Bucks have 2 players that are 35. Dame is 33, turning 34. Jay Crowder is 33, turning 34. Chris Middleton's body's breaking down, and he's turning 33 this year.
The Heat's old.
The Heat is kind of old in terms of like Jimmy is getting up there, but everyone else in terms of their main core isn't that old. But Jimmy is getting up there. I'm not going to dismiss the fact that Jimmy's getting
Austin's older than us too.
Yeah, because they're backloaded with like Al Horford and a couple other veterans. But I don't know what I don't know what it is right this second, Freezie. I mean, Coach, in terms of the age, because it kind of got skewed because we got rid of a couple young bucks to get a couple 30-year-olds. So it might be a little bit different. I don't know if they've updated the average NBA age just yet for us. I don't know.
That's why I was saying that the core guys we're counting on now.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like for the Celtics, the core guys that they're counting on. If you don't count Al Horford, then it kind of goes down where Drew Holiday is really like the oldest guy that's important to them. And he's like 30, I think, or 31, something like that. and the rest of the guys in terms of Chris Stapps and Jalen and Derek White and
Tatum.
Jake Tatum. Yeah, like those guys are in their late 20s or in their mid 20s, somewhere between 25 and 29, like us. So like the older guys, they become interchangeable, or you can replace them over time. Like Alec Burks might get replaced next year, same as Bogdanovich in terms of trading him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the main core, their main guys aren't too old over there. Like they still have chances to keep going. Let me hold on. Let me check. Let me check the average age of the Heat.
The Heat.
They're
Well, not
way.
the average age, but
So look at their starters. Their
yeah.
top 6 players.
Remember,
Same
Kyle Lowry is gone. Kyle
Mm-hmm.
Lowry was 37, and that kind of skews it when they removed him and then put Terry Rozier there, and he's like 29. Kevin Love is their oldest current rotation player, and he's going to be situational in the playoffs. He's 35. Jimmy Butler is 34. Then after that, Josh Richardson is 30. Terry Rozier is 29. Duncan Robinson is 29. Caleb Murray is 28. Haywood Highsmith is 26. Bam is 26. Tyler Hero is 24. You know what I'm saying? Like Jaime Jaquez is 22. Like going forward, like a lot of the guys that they do have in their rotation are kind of G League guys, but a lot of the guys they do have are not that old. It's just Jimmy, their main guy, being 34, turning 35, kind of scares me because his game is so physical.
Yeah, but you name another 2 or 3 guys that were 28, 29. We only got one guy that age, Randall.
Yeah,
The rest
yeah,
are 27 and under.
yeah. Only thing I'm just saying, like, in terms of maybe importance, Tyler Hero, Thomas Bryant matter the most to them, and their average age is 25 together, and they're gonna
Yeah,
trade
they're
one of those
about
guys.
trading them.
And
Yeah.
Jaime Jaquez is 22. But as far as us, well, we have Dante, Josh Hart, Randall Brunson, OG. I can look up there.
The 76ers are old too.
Oh yeah, they're old as hell, but
Yep.
they're gonna attempt to retool over the summer. Like a lot of the guys, they're old guys, are like guys like Kyle Lowry's on that team now. So
We're gonna have to fight off besides Celtics. Is Cavs, Pacers, Magic.
No, I don't think we have to.
The Cavs might be
No,
in a weird position where
I'm talking about their
this
age
year,
group, if they stay coming up.
Donovan ain't staying. Just letting you know that right now. Donovan counts in that, and he ain't staying. So, well, if I had to speculate, he's not staying. Hold on, let me look up the average age.
They're pretty successful right now.
Oh yeah.
And they don't have Garland back yet.
No, Garland's been back.
Oh, is
I
he?
still think we can.
Garland's been back.
Go show how much I paid, dude.
I still think we could take the Cavs, Indy when we're healthy. The only thing is
I'm
the
not
only
really
real
worried about
matchup I
them.
see us is with Boston. That's the only matchup.
I only view the top of the East, and no matter how mediocre the Bucks are playing right now, they still have Dame and Giannis, and those two can shift the series on their own. So you still have to respect their skill level. Now, the other parts, I don't know if you can rely on Chris Middleton to stay healthy. Brook Lopez is very old, and he's looking like he's getting old quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I still have to honor their star power. Like it's still very real. I just don't know if they'll put it together. And it might when they get to the playoffs, it might look like when Devin Booker and KD was with each other, and they just couldn't do anything with the Denver Nuggets last year. Like two All NBA talents, but the surrounding pieces just couldn't hold up. And it doesn't matter that
They got out coached.
They got out coached.
They got out coached for sure.
But it's like those surrounding pieces also didn't matter, and it didn't help them.
I mean, here's the thing: the T-Wolves and the Thunder They're the 1 and 2 seeds in the Western Conference right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Thunder are going to be a problem for a long time. What you mean? Their entire core is like their entire core. They have an MVP guy in contention right now. That's 25 in SGA. They got two studs right behind them, and Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, that are going to be all stars. They are going to be all stars. I'm not barring injury. Now, what and with their loaded in terms of assets, they can pinpoint guys that can fit around them perfectly. I think they're biding their time right now in terms of seeing what works and what doesn't work for them in the playoffs, and then they're gonna pick who they feel fits their needs going forward because they have the time. Because Chet is 22, because Jalen Williams is 23, because SGA is 25. Whereas our core, if you look at our core, Brunson's 27, Randall's 29. Like the time is now to strike. With them, they have more time because their guys are just so young. They just have more time. But with our guys, we're smack dab in the middle of our prime. Their guys are before their prime.
I say that because we've even talked about OKC earlier when they made their runs when they had KD and everything. So for me, I don't know how that organization is.
That's a different time of play. It's different.
No. But the reason why I say, because you said an MVP player with Shea. Like I said, we can get into it, but that we'll be here all night with that because of how I break down the OKC. But to keep it simple, OKC, to me, I do agree they will be able to compete in the West. But the problem is their lack of experience. And regardless of how good
you got to get
SGA
experience then. Let them get the experience. That's why I said they're so young. They're going to get the experience.
But the same way that KD was nasty, the same way that Westbrook was getting all those experiences.
But I already told you, you can't compare that. Because number one, Westbrook and Harden weren't MVP caliber until several years after that. 4, 5, 6 years after that. Number two, it was a different time. It was a different era of basketball. It was different coaching. It was different levels of talent in their conference relative to what was going on to now. Like you can't compare the NBA 11, 12, 13 years ago. I'm sorry. I'll compare it right now. The Warriors, when the Warriors won their first championship, they were light years ahead of teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors offense from 14-15 would rank 21st in 2024.
And they were fortunate to draft their core big three.
Yeah.
That's why they were fortunate. Eventually, no team in the NBA can afford to keep that many good young players.
Unless you draft them. And then you got
that's what I'm saying. But
Shea
eventually,
wasn't drafted by OKC.
Right. That and plus eventually OKC is gonna talent themselves out. Like they can't pay all those kids.
Yep.
They can pay 3 of them. They can't.
What they're eventually gonna be. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The way Williams was last year, yeah. That improvement right there. If he plays like this for the rest of the year, they're gonna have to worry about Shea's contract.
They can pay 3 of them. They can't pay 4 of them.
But if you have
3, if you have 3 max players, you're in a good position anyway with how the CBA is set up. Like you can only have that. You can't have like the mega super team. That's done. It's done. It's done in terms of how how the Nets put their team together. That's never going to happen again.
Okay.
In terms of free agents and then trading for another max
Clippers
player.
this year is the last team that has a chance to do it this year.
Well, the Suns too, because if you look at their roster construction, they got 3 like super max guys. So
yeah, but they're what 7 seed 6 right now.
Yeah, they just can't stay healthy.
Bro, you only need 2 or 3 max contracts anyway. What do you need with 5 max guys? I mean, even if you could do it, you don't have enough room. You know what I'm saying? Because If every team had room for 4 or 5 max guys, dudes that don't deserve the max would be asking for the max.
Shout out to Tobias Harris.
It's keeping the right combination of them too.
Shout out to Al Horford.
Yeah, right, Coach Mount Pica. It's the right combination. When you talk about that OKC team, the original one, they had a bunch of guys that needed the ball. When you look at OKC's team right now, they mesh together. Like their skill sets fit. Like they just fit.
And that OKC team that you mentioned before,
yeah,
he was a former NBA point guard at head coach,
and he was a trash coach, by the way.
Here we
both
go.
of them, both the guys, Scott Brooks and Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan had the PG Melo Westbrook iteration. Well, no, actually, he had Durant and Westbrook too. Then they lost in the Western Conference Finals with Billy Donovan. But I told Freezie, I had a conversation with Freezie before the season started, and I told him OKC was coming. I told him that they were coming and they were going to be up at the top of the West. Now, I don't know if they're going to win the championship. Winning the championship, being a young team and coming this far, it's hard to do. Like a lot of teams need the heartache, and I think they're shaping up to get their heartache this year. It's better off to just get it out the way. I think the Knicks suffered that with our core last year in terms of Brunson and Randall. And I think we have added a bunch of guys that have been professionals and played high leverage basketball before in terms of Bogdanovich and Dante to a lesser extent, and Josh Hart to a lesser extent. So I think we're shaping up to make a run. I think OKC, as good as they are right now, I think they probably lose in the second round. All things standard, like right now, I just don't think they have enough right now in terms of their age and experience. It's hard to win in the playoffs, and that's just a different level of intensity that they have to acclimate themselves to. So I won't say they're going to go, but I mean, remember the OKC team you were comparing them to before. Remember they lost to the Lakers in like 6 games or something like that when they were babies in the first round. Coach, I can hear everything in your background.
My bad.
You good, bro. But yeah, I think OKC isn't set up to be in a perfect position to build and add, because remember that most of their guys are on rookie contracts, so they could take on a huge salary for a year or two next year in terms of a guy that makes potentially max money to acclimate themselves within the structure of a team that has a young guy like Jalen Williams averaging near 20 on 54% shooting, and a guy like Chet Holmgren who's a point center in ways and a two-way player, an elite rim protector and shooter, on top of SGA, who's just a walking bucket. So it's hard for me to just look down on their future and be like,
No, I'm
nah,
not
they're
looking.
not going.
No, I'm not looking down on their future. I'm just saying, like, I think it's going to be hard for them to maintain a championship because, one, they're still young. They need veteran experience to actually show them what they need to do. And they got rid of Adams. They got rid of, they added Adams. My fault.
No. Which Adams? Steven Adams?
Yeah.
He's been gone.
No, but what I'm saying is like, I'm trying to, my fault. Like I said, don't worry about the Adams thing. That was a mistake. I was rambling. What I'm simply trying to say is this, Dre, and I apologize earlier. OKC to me needs veterans because regardless of what you think as far as a championship team, most of those guys had veterans. Now, this entire roster is young, and I don't think that with the West, how they're built, with the Clippers, with the Lakers,
I
with
don't think they're looking to win a championship this year, though. Because if they
okay.
were, they would have made a move at the deadline. They would have made a big move. They would have consolidated a ton of draft picks and some contracts. I don't think they're anticipating doing that this year. I think this is their evaluation period in terms of how they should pivot or what they should target in the offseason to go forward. I think this year they're like, okay, we're going to get to the playoffs. And let's see how far we go with this current cast and see how great they are. We're going to give them a lot of to shoulder, and we'll see how great they are. And then we're going to reanalyze and reassess what we need going forward because they know with the CBA coming up, they're going to be locked into a particular roster. So their next move, they want to make sure it's their best move. So they want to make sure they bring in someone that fits next to Jalen, SGA, and Holmgren, and they want to make sure that guy can fit there and stay there for the next 3-4 years while those guys ascend into their prime and be someone that fits them. I don't think they're looking for a championship this year. I think they're just looking to go further, see how far they can go. Because remember, their team is so young. Whereas the Knicks, if you want to compare the Knicks may not say it, but they're looking for a championship this year too, as opposed to OKC. They may not outwardly say it, but they're making their moves or pivoting in a way that says we want to win a championship this year, but we also want to have some flexibility to pivot in the off season.
The
So
way Denver pivot with with Brown and all their players after they won.
Well, it's a little bit different. They had to let go of Bruce Brown because they were already paying in the tax. Like they're paying. They have 3 guys that are making a ton of money. Like Jamal Murray makes a ton of money. Michael Porter Jr. makes a ton of money. Joker makes $60 million a year. They had to let go of those guys. What the Nuggets pivot is we're just gonna try to we're just gonna try to play several guys that are on rookie contracts, like Peyton Watson and Christian Brown. Like they have to rely on production from guys on rookie scale contracts to pick up the difference.
But to back up, go ahead. Sorry, but to back up Bob's point is there no young teams don't win.
Not that young, no.
Even if you go over the past 30 to 40 years, the youngest core, when I say that, like, where your top 3 players age, I found this little thing, like the 2015 Warriors, top 3 players, when I had Curry, Thompson, Draymond, their average age was 26. It was 25 years and 358 days. And they only won 2 titles in the next 5 years after that.
They won 3.
No, yeah, he's not killing the KD. He's probably not including the KD.
Well, then that would be 1 if he's not including KD. But
you got 2021 and you got 2015.
Yeah, those are the 2.
They have
KD one and the other one.
Yeah, I mean they won 4.
Yeah, but like I see what he's saying. He's saying based off of their age and the original core, because when they first won it in 2015, the 2015 team is pretty much the same core as the 2021 with the 3 guys in Green and Steph and then Clay. That's what he was saying.
But by then they were old though.
Old,
yeah, 6 years older.
Older. So, they were still at the back end of their prime. Like they weren't old. They were still younger than like say Chris Middleton is right now.
Like the year when Shaq and Kobe and I guess Derek Fisher, I don't know who the third guy was.
The third, it didn't really even matter at that point.
Like with those. They only won 1 after that first one after that age. So they were 26 years. And so the point I'm getting at is because they were talking about the Nuggets. The Nuggets just won, and technically Jokic, Jamal Murray, and either Aaron Gordon or Michael Porter, whatever, they're about the same age.
26,
their average age was like 27. So that's the hot spot. And we're right in it right now. So
that's what I'm saying. Like they may not say they're going for a championship, but everything to me screams, yo, they're trying to make a run right now. In terms of their acquisitions, that's what I said. Like I'm not disagreeing. That's partially the same reason why I was like, OKC is in an assessment mode right now. They're not in a win now mode because they're so young. They're in assessment mode where they're gonna make a move, whether over the summer or at the deadline, but it's gonna be a move that almost consolidates and tries to push their current young core even further. Whereas like the Knicks, we're in that 26, 27, 28, 29 range where it's like every move we make is to target trying to win a championship. Whereas OKC is like, we're gonna sit back and wait because they're already set up from now for like the next 5, 6, 7 years if they keep those guys to be the like the leaders out of the West. Whereas we're set up to be like, yo, our sweet spot right now, maybe the next 4 to 5 years. Whereas OKC is like, yo, they might have something for 7, 8 years.
Okay. I get you. It's probably because I look at OKC as our team. Maybe.
No,
I see what you're saying.
They're in a different timeline than us.
Yeah. Where they can have success longer than us.
You want to read that?
Oh, my fault. Justo11. Thank you for your generous contribution. OKC going to see what they missed in this year's run. Also, the McBride for that 76ers team need to come back. He's been slacking. I don't know about the McBride team.
Yeah. That's basically what I've been saying, Justo. This is their test run. This is like them playing. They're like on training wheels right now, so to speak, and they're just gonna ride it out to see how far they can go. Removing the training wheels, you still have someone hovering over them in terms of their safety net, but I don't think they're all in at all. Like they're not thinking all in win a title right now. They're thinking how far can we go, and what do we need after this run. Whereas we kind of went through that last year, Coach. We went to the playoffs, and then we figured out, okay, we need corner shooting. We need more defense. So you know what we did? The next deadline, we traded to get corner shooting, elite defense, more shooting.
Yeah.
Like OKC's timeline is what we were last year, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're even though we kind of went further than we initially anticipated, right? Because going to Game 6 in the second round is something most Knicks fans didn't anticipate. But we got there and we got new information that told us we need to get X, Y, and Z. And I think that's what OKC is attempting to do this year, where they're gonna attempt to figure out and get new information on their core, and then figure out what they need the most, or what they don't need on their team, hypothetically speaking, or what they need to remove. They're in information acquiring mode. We already acquired the information that we needed to know. And the information that we needed to know is Jalen Brunson averaged 30 points per game with no spacing. Get him help. Get him help and defenders. That's what we figured out.
Yeah. Well,
I agree with that.
We're probably one of the only teams right now who are a threat to their respective conference finals that isn't counting on someone they drafted.
Yeah, this is unconventional for most eras of the NBA. This is funny enough. This is the Pistons blueprint in terms of most of the players on the Pistons were guys that were in different organizations that they put together outside of like Tayshaun Prince. That's about it. And the one main guy they did have didn't play, Darko Milicic. The one guy they did draft didn't play.
Right.
So I mean, it's unconventional the way we're building our team, right? But if you look at the means that we're winning games, or we were winning games when OG and Randall and all those guys were healthy, it screamed sustainable.
Coach, you got feedback. I'm sorry,
my
Drake.
bad, man. It's the TV.
I got you.
The way we're winning is screaming sustainable. But in past iterations, or even current iterations of the NBA, sustainability meant that you were drafting your star player and building around him. We signed our star players and then built around them.
Like we're the only in the Eastern Conference. I'm just looking at that conference first. In the top 8 seeds, we're the only team that doesn't have someone we drafted in our start lineup.
Not even with Cleveland?
Go through.
Not even Cleveland? No, they drafted Levert, right? I'm trying to think. You sure?
Jared Allen.
Yeah, Garland.
No. Jared Allen came from the Nets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, wait, my bad.
But
No,
they had Mobley and Garland.
Oh, Mobley,
Garland.
that's who it is. Okay, Mobley and Garland.
Mobley and Garland. But the
that's
only
what I was
other
saying.
team,
Like,
and in the West is probably the Lakers. That's about it. And even then, they start Austin Reeves every so often. So even though he goes in and out of the starting lineup.
Well, you can look at the Clippers. They're starting four of their guys.
Whoa. They drafted Terrence Mann and he starts for them now.
Oh, now he does. Well, I was talking about earlier in the season where they had, Harden, Westbrook.
It's mercenaries. It's definitely a lot of mercenaries on that team.
Yeah.
Hired.
But I don't know. I just feel that I don't know. Dre, with everything you said, you kind of made me change my bias because I do agree that we do need to win one first, but we got the veterans in place. We got everything we need. The only thing that
young veterans. So I understand that. They're not old, long, and a two vets. They're 26, 28-year-old vets. And in Precious' case, he's 26.
But that's what confuses me because everyone is willing to give. I mean, I know it's past the time now, but back in 2014 and 2015, everyone gave Steph and Clay their benefit of the doubt. Now we got a guy who I'm not saying, and I'll continue to say it, he's nowhere near the level of Steph Curry, but he's putting up the same numbers as Steph Curry in year 5 with the 40% from 3, with the scoring and everything. But nobody wants to give him a chance because they say it's not proven.
Here's the thing, Cowboy Bob, to that point. You said they gave them the benefit of the doubt. All the pundits said a shooting team can't win a championship until it did.
Yeah. I mean, now, and that's the benefit of the doubt. Now that they have proven it, it's okay for them to be sitting there saying, oh, Golden State has proven it to us. It's okay. We believe in Golden State. But if the Knicks have similar players, let me give you an example about how we have similar players to Golden State. And I know I'm not trying to say we are Golden State at all. Just follow the road that I'm going, Dre. If you look at Brunson, is Brunson not basically a franchise player the way he's been playing the last 2 years?
He is an all-NBA player.
Yeah.
He's an all-NBA player. So you don't see him as a franchise player?
Steph was an MVP, just to clarify.
No, I know. Remember what I said. They are not the same player, but I'm saying if you look at the numbers that they are producing, what I'm saying to find someone that can emulate a little bit of Steph, to me, deserves them to be that type of a superstar. I think we have 2 of them, and I'm going to tell you why. The fact that Brunson's able to step up, I've only seen, even look at Steph this year. Steph is balling this year, just like he is in 2021, just like he was in 2015. Everybody seems to give Steph the benefit of the doubt. But when you have a player like in Brunson who's doing similar numbers to where he won MVP, I'm not saying he's going to win MVP, but what I'm saying is he has that similarity. Why can't we say, okay, Steph Curry did it, maybe Brunson can do it? Look at Randall. Randall developed his scoring, and I hate to say this, Klay Thompson to me, I think is a beautiful scorer, and he's him. And he's nowhere near, they're not the same player. But the way Klay developed into where he could drop 60 points was off of coaching. And that's how I think Randall is. Randall off of coaching stepped up to where, yes, he's trying to be a 5-level scorer by adding his 3-pointer. Yes, it's still a low 33%. But at his position, that's pretty efficient. And plus, if you look before he got hurt, he was taking lesser threes and being more efficient.
How many level scorer?
I was trying to say 5.
5 levels?
From what I may be wrong because what I understood, and I'm going to tell you what the 5-level scorer was: layups, post ups, ISOs, middies, and 3-pointers. That's what was explained to me. Now, if I'm wrong, I think Randall got every one of those except for the 3-point. That's like I said. If I'm wrong about the 5-level scoring, let me know.
I consider 5-level scoring a little bit different. Like Steph Curry, Dame Lillard range is maybe the 5th level, right? But this is like a newer concept. It's not completely fully fleshed out. Like 3-level scoring is the most traditional view of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also viewed as like 4-level scoring in terms of guys who have the ability to score directly at the rim, and then there's floater range in terms of guys who have the hooks.
Hey,
And the
Coach, look
floater
at
like
that. Look at that link and tell me what you think. I'm sorry, Dre.
And then there's the mid range, and then being able to create your own shot. Then there's the 3-point shot, and then there's the deep 3-point shot. So I guess I get where you're going with that, but I don't think we have any guys that can consistently hit like the deep 3-point shot. I mean, Dante has shown the ability with his confidence, but it's.
Coach, we have those in 2X's. Dre, did you see that?
2X. I wore 2X's all year.
Send it to me on Discord, Freezie.
One man.
I can click it 'cause on StreamYard I can't click it unless I pull it up on the chat. Hold on.
6X. Now we're talking.
Let me pull it up in the chat. Don't worry about it.
I need it to be a little baggy. I fill it out. Depending on the what company I get it from, I wear 5X sometimes too. 5,
Yeah,
6X.
man. Yeah, man.
One man rotation.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing.
Yo, so that's the logo I'm going with, man. The what's the name, man? The you know what I'm saying, I got Bimmy on the shirt. I had to give him a name because I had AI created because I was trying to draw it and then scan it to the computer. I ain't doing all that, man. I'll let AI do it.
And if you keep trying, you'll eventually get something that you really like. So
yeah. And thus Bimmy is born. So
Bimmy. The lonely tear.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Not the Queen's gangster, by the way.
No, no, Bimmy, if you watching, bro, yeah, relax. Bimmy, if you watching, relax, bro. We ain't making fun of you, bro. You gotta calm down, bro. Go smoke a cigarette, bro. Relax. Yeah, man. Yo, you know what? I should probably show. I'm just gonna show everybody. While just put it on the screen. I have one I think is my favorite one, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Cowboy Bob. Every time I look at it, I'm like, yo, I'm in love with this joint. I rock this joint anywhere, bro. Where is it? This is it right here. I'm gonna put it on the screen for us to look at just real quick. And I didn't know it
like
was
them no ham sandwiches.
Chat, that's it right there, chat.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do a giveaway, but I tell you what, Coach, remind me if you're here. Remind me if the chat number gets to 250, right? If the chat number gets to 250 for whatever reason, I'm gonna swag somebody out with the joint. So if the chat ever get to 250, or whenever the chat gets to 250, I'm gonna swag somebody out.
Okay.
And once we get to, because the goal for this year, I want the channel to get to 5,000 subscribers. And so I'm not gonna force it down people's throat, but if we get there, we get there. If we don't, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get to 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna swag somebody out to random person in the chat. So yeah, Coach, that ain't bad right there, all right. Tom Thibodeau was running a one-man rotation. Bimmy is all he needs.
I'm gonna get a black one of those.
But that takes away from the orange, Coach. That takes away from the orange.
They ain't got orange in my size.
They don't have orange in your size, bro. No, they sure don't.
Oh,
yeah, I'm looking at it. It's the biggest they have is 4X, bro. My apologies. I didn't know. I didn't know. They have a cool Knicks blue though.
Yeah, I'd rock that one.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. I didn't even. Yeah, man, my bad.
White.
Nah, white gets dirty too easy.
Yeah, it does.
Especially when you're on the court as a Knicks fan, it's always covered in blood. I'm sorry. Did I say that?
That's clean though, bro. That's clean though, man. When you look at, and Bimmy mad as hell on that, bro.
Mm.
Bimmy is mad as hell. Shout out to Bimmy, bro. Shout out to Bimmy. But yeah, man. Hey, man, that's all I got. Cowboy Bob out here throwing people in quicksand.
I gotta be careful. I can't keep showing out
Yo,
my secret.
and Dre was like, no, and I'm like, Dre, don't fall for it, bro. Dre, come on.
I'm just like the fly. It's just like the fly running into the light.
You saved us another 2 hours because when you paused and I didn't talk, and then I thought about it, we were gonna go down another hole, and I was like, no, I gotta stop because right, I'm creating too many wormholes.
He pointing y'all right to the quicksand, bro. Like, well, yeah, when he was like, yo, Tibbs don't develop, and then he named all the guys that Tibbs was developing, I was like, oh, yeah.
Thanks, Unc. I gotta step my game up.
Nah, man, that was great, man, with the conversation pieces and all of that stuff. Hey, everybody, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try to be at the computer in enough time to do the Knicks morning drive at 9 a.m. Right. So salute everybody in the chat. Big up yourself. I hope everybody have a peaceful night. We out of here, y'all.
Salute. Go New York. Go New York. Go.